Hey there, M here. Welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa and what I believe will be the final episode. Let me tell you guys something. I've recorded this earlier. I recorded, like, the trial and all, and the ending and all that. I recorded all that, like, a few days ago. Unfortunately, I didn't really see if the recording was okay until after I did some few free time events and got some more skills. And lo and behold, it turned out that the commentary was missing. I believe I did something in OBS that accidentally set the mic to default instead of my Yeti here. So not only do I have to re-record this, I also have to record it with all of the skills I've attained and with the knowledge of what's going to happen. So yeah, I didn't have much of a choice between re-recording this and doing post-commentary for 3 hours, which I didn't think I'd be able to pull off. So I'm just gonna re-record this, and yeah, I apologize in advance, because since I already beat this once, I already know what's gonna happen. I really wish I checked the mic settings before I recorded that day, but, well, too late now. Let's just go in and get this trial over with, okay? I guess I'm the first one this time. You're really Makoto.
Listen.
Does that mean you feel prepared? Yeah, for now at least. But where's everyone else? Why aren't they here yet?
However...
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be here soon. And just like she said... Hey. Byakuya! Byakuya? They arrived, one after another, but they were all in the same state of shock. Really, they all look pissed to me. Hina? Yeah, so Hiro looked shocked, but Aoi and Byakuya looked pissed to me. Hiro? Silence. And it wasn't any normal silence. It was the deafening silence of fear and suspicion. It was like the first-class trial. First time I recorded this, I thought, oh, they all think Makoto's the mastermind or something, because that's how it was the first time around. They all thought Makoto killed Sayaka. Oh, hi, Jill. I'm late! Strong silent master is so wonderful, so cool, so hot. My loins are ablaze. Now listen, everything will be just fine if you leave it to me. With my scissor-sharp scissors in hand, I'll stab and gouge and shiv the master of evil. But I thought you couldn't kill anyone but adorable little boys. If it's what master wants, it can be boy, girl, or anything in between. I can handle it. Goodbye, Jill. Where am I? No human language can describe the disappointment I'm feeling right now. Hi there. Is everyone here? Oh, and wearing our gloomy ghost faces, I see. Well, okay then. Let's begin. This final class trial is gonna be slathered in pitch black despair. Maximum sorrow.
That's fine.
You're right. This is the final class trial, and this time it'll be fair.
How strange.
What do you mean, this time? Stop with all the slander. I'm a bear in good standing, you know. If there was a Mr. Fair Guy Universe contest, I'd take home the tiara every year. Nah. Although, a tiara might not look too bad on you. I'm gonna win this game super fair and square. And I'll make sure everyone watching at home knows that despair is mightier than to hope. Seriously, why is it than to hope? Is it supposed to reference something? Is he taking on a different accent? I don't know.
Stop talking.
Enough of your tedious dribble. Begin the trial already. Sure. Let's begin the trial already. I'll be waiting for you down below.
You guys...
So don't try and run away. Joke's on you, I got dragged back here because of my mistakes. Laughing as loud as ever, Monokuma disappeared. Whatever.
In the name of my
This'll
family.
be over in no time. With an inexplicable confidence, Byakuya was the first into the elevator. One by one, the others followed. Nobody made eye contact. Nobody said a word. They just disappeared into the elevator.
Hey.
They're all acting odd. Like they're paranoid, suspicious of each other.
However...
But you know why that is, don't you? Yeah, I think so.
However...
Well, you can tell us all about it soon. At the class trial. You're right. I'm ready.
So...
Ready to win, right? Of course. I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you. And then Kyoko was aboard the elevator. I started making my way toward the opening, step after step toward that gaping maw. I'd resolved that this would be the last time. I repeated to myself that there was no fear, no mystery left. I pushed the anxiety down, calmed my trembling body, and finally, on steady legs, I passed the threshold and stood in the elevator. All that flowery language just to describe getting on an elevator. Without warning, it began to descend, deeper and deeper, 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 deeper still, deep into the dark abyss underneath that awaited us. Deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper, deeper and deeper! Okay, the more I say deeper, the more it starts sounding like, I don't know how to say this, I'll just say it. The more I say deeper, the more it sounds like a porno or something. Deeper and deeper it fell. There's no easy way to put it besides that. I closed my eyes and sight fell away. All sound, too, disappeared. Alone in the universe, I waited for the elevator doors to open for the last time. What could have been seconds or centuries later, I felt the gentle vibration of the elevator come to an end. I slowly opened my eyes. Welcome to the trash heap that is the final courtroom. This is the final trial site? What do you think? Isn't it just the perfect background for deciding a person's fate? Looks an awful lot like a prison, don't you think? It's the long-awaited last stage! The always exciting final boss battle! And I'm gonna sit in on this one. I'll just sit right here in the vacant 16th seat. Well then, let's begin! Oh, there's no, deadly clash trial thing. Just in case this messes up, I'm just gonna save here. Right, before I look at the handbook, I'm gonna show you the skills I got while I was doing free time events because, like I said, I thought I didn't have to re-record, I thought I was done with the game, so I'm like, you know what, let's work on getting some of those free time events done. I can tell you that, if I can remember, I've done Leon's, Chihiro's, and Sakura's completely. And technically Sayaka's, but you don't get much out of her aside from an extra skill point. I now have Delusion, I got Algorithm, and Tranquility, which, if I remember right, I was one free time event away from getting Tranquility. Too bad I didn't do enough of Sakura's stuff and she died before I could get the chance. It's alright. Now, before I begin the trial, I need to read over these things. And I do mean read over because I have realized that if I read this stuff out loud, I have a better chance of remembering it. If I just read it to myself, like in my head or something, then... well, you can look at the 2nd and 5th trials to figure out where that gets me, because that's where I did the worst, and those two were the ones where I just read it to myself. Anyway, I'll be right with you guys, I just need to read these over. Alrighty then, I've studied as much as I can, and now it's time to begin the final trial. Again. This is gonna be awkward. All rise!
Since this will be the final class trial, I've come up with a special rule.
Alright, let's hear it, Monokuma.
So listen up! If you can figure out Mukuro's killer and go on to solve the mystery of this school...
you know, I feel a bit bad for Aoi and Yasuhiro. They gotta sit right next to Monokuma.
you guys win! But if you can't, then I win! And of course, waiting for the loser is the super exciting, super heart-pounding punishment!
Okay.
Are you saying that if you lose, you'll execute yourself?
Yep, sure will.
And that's final? No loopholes? No wiggling out of it later?
Of course not! Bears never go back on their word!
In a sense, you did when you tried executing Makoto, even though he wasn't the culprit.
Never mind all that. I just have one question for you.
Oh, you're taking this serious, huh? Are you feeling okay?
You know, he's got a good point. Yasuhiro's been a serious goof up till now, so... maybe he is taking this a bit seriously.
Is the mastermind only one person?
Hmm?
Don't bother. I already know the answer.
You know, it might be a good idea to clarify before you go around saying you've got the answers.
You're all the mastermind, aren't you? You're all out to get me!
No.
I'm right, aren't I? I knew it!
Well, time to prove you wrong then. Okay, I think starting here you're okay, this one has three bullets for now. And I think I need to use the group photo. So.
You guys have all been working together, haven't you? I have evidence, so I know I'm right.
Hey, you stole my line. You're all out to get me. I'm sure of it.
Why?
I have evidence of my own.
What a coincidence. I too have evidence to present. Evidence that proves everyone other than me has been working together.
What? Wait, hold on. This
I know what
doesn't
you're
make
saying,
any
Yasuhiro.
sense. How can the three of us each have that kind of evidence?
Ah, damn it! Damn it! Shit! All three of them think that everyone around them is their enemy. There's no doubt this is a trap Monokuma set. He set it up so we would suspect each other, and I have something that proves it.
How can the three of us each have that kind of evidence?
I will show you in a bit, Yasuhiro. Also, I just realized that I really lowered the music volume, so,
It's not just you three. I have evidence too.
So voice is gonna be louder than usual because I turned down the music a bit.
What? You too?
The evidence you're all referring to is this group photo, right?
Well, yeah. Huh? Wait, but mine's different. With the picture you have, I'm in it. But that can't be right. 'Cause in my picture, see? I'm the only one not in it.
I don't know, I find it funny that Makoto's struggling while everyone else seems to be having fun, and Sakura is about to steamroll Makoto. Though, maybe Sakura got out of the way before that happened, I don't know. Because I was like, that's pretty bad luck if he's about to get steamrolled by the best girl in the game. I figured as much. In which case...
Hiro, you have a picture too, right? Let's see it.
Okay, but be careful with it. It's pretty important evidence.
I'll be as gentle as a butterfly with it. This one too! It's just like I thought!
So the secret in these pictures has been revealed.
One moment, I'm going to turn up the audio here. There we go.
Secret or whatever, I don't care. You guys are all in on this together. That's why I'm the only one missing.
Okay, assuming you got to see the other pictures anyway, haven't you noticed a bit of a pattern with them?
But you're in my picture. You're the ones trying to trick me.
So the whole purpose behind these photos was to get us questioning and fighting with each other. The mastermind laid a trap to make us each think everyone else was working against us.
Huh? I laid a trap?
Of course you did, Monokuma. You always lay traps for everyone.
A trap? How rude! What grounds do you have for such audacious accusations?
Everything you've done, pretty much. The proof I need to reveal Monokuma's trap. Each photo has a certain something in common. There's a connection regarding what person isn't shown in the group photos. And that person is the ones who got the photos.
Got it! In each case, the only one not in the picture is the person who received it. So, in the picture I got, I'm the only one missing.
Right.
In the picture Hina got, she's the only one missing. And in the picture Hiro got, he's the only one missing.
Wait, was Sakura in the same pose in Makoto's picture? I'm not sure. Or at least something similar.
As long as we're talking about it, I suppose I should show you my photo as well.
In other words, Monokuma gave each of us a group photo in which that person wasn't included.
And when we each saw our picture, we just assumed everyone else was the enemy?
Pretty much.
Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I thought that must be it. But how was that a hint?
But you know, there might be more to this than just Monokuma trying to confuse us. There's something else that bothers me about everyone's pictures. What is it? What's digging at me?
Listen, Can I see everyone's group photo one more time? It's not directly connected to what we're talking about, but I'd like to double check something.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I'm sure there's something unusual about these group photos. What is it? I need to compare each of them one more time. Byakuya's picture. I still can't believe that Sakura's uppercutting a fish. I gotta assume that's some kind of floaty or something. And poor Hifumi. Poor Kiyotaka. It looks like Hifumi is about to land on him. And what's Mukuro holding? Is that a phone? I hope not. Why would she have that in the pool? Hina's picture. Hiro's picture. And mine. Yeah, that's pretty much the same pose Sakura's making. The only difference is that she's not grabbing onto Hifumi's head antenna thing. Whatever you call that. The thing sticking up. There's something strange about all of them. Something I can't quite pin down. Something... Alright, that got updated. That's
Can
good.
you just forget about the photo already?
Well, no. If it got updated, then it must be something important for later.
Ugh. Trying to trick me with such an obviously fake photo? I'm still pissed about that.
And on top of that, they went to all that trouble to make it look like we were wearing matching uniforms.
Well, that'd be one hell of a Photoshop if that's the case.
So you think they're fake? No, I assure you, they're quite real.
Alright, therefore it wasn't a total Photoshop job.
What are you talking about? There's no way.
Yeah! I don't remember ever taking a picture like that, so it's gotta be a fake. I'm sure of it.
But you know, can we really be so sure?
Huh?
Don't get me wrong, I don't remember taking this picture either. But is that really enough to be absolutely positive they're fake?
What do you mean?
The reason I don't remember this picture isn't necessarily because it's fake. There might be some other reason. Some terrible reason. An unbelievable but entirely horrifying reason. You know what's coming up then. Hangman's Gambit. Let's see. A 7-letter word that begins with A and has N and I in it. Yeah, I already know what it is. See, that's the problem with having to re-record this stuff. Nothing's really surprising. Now, where's an S? Okay, an A. Amnesia!
Now I understand.
Suddenly, Kyoko's little thing earlier makes sense.
Let's say that somehow we'd all lost our memories. That could explain it, couldn't it?
Well, now it makes more sense as a foreshadowing kind of thing.
Oh, I get it. So we all just lost our memories at the same time and forgot about the photo. Makes sense.
Is that sarcasm, Yasuhiro?
As if. You expect me to believe such an unbelievable occult-type story?
Yay! He knows how to do sarcasm!
Yeah, we all lost our memories? That's just crazy.
It's only natural that they wouldn't believe it. But no matter how much they refuse, if that's the absolute truth, they have no choice. We can't move forward until they accept it. And there's another way to prove it besides those pictures. Well, there's that DVD. That would definitely prove it. Oh, here's the part where they start throwing 5 bullets at your face. And I'm still on kind difficulty.
You're saying we all got spontaneous amnesia? Since when did this turn into some kind of sci-fi fantasy?
I promise you, I haven't lost my memory. Ever since I got to this school, I remember everything that's happened.
Do you remember this?
No, that's wrong.
I probably should have waited for that one so that the whole dialogue tree can play out.
Those photos aren't the only things that point to the possibility of memory loss. This DVD does the same thing.
You're not gonna show us something indecent, are you?
Would something called urgent interviews have some indecency on it? Okay, maybe. If there was a porno of it called urgent interviews, then... You know what, never mind. I'm just gonna drop that subject entirely and move on.
No, it's nothing like that. It's a video of all of us being interviewed by the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster.
When you say all of us, you mean...
I mean all of us, including you.
You lie! I never did any kind of interview.
Wait for the DVD then, okay?
No, it's not a lie. Just watch the DVD and you'll see for yourself.
What she said. Just wait for yours to pop up, Owie. See?
The headmaster did, in fact, interview you.
What are you saying?
I didn't imagine you would remember.
It's not about whether or not I remember. You expect me to believe all this? That I lost my memory somehow?
Well, we don't have any way to refute it, so we have no choice but to accept it as reality.
Byakuya being the voice of reason. Who'da thunk?
How can you say that? We're talking about living, breathing amnesia here.
Amnesia does not live or breathe, it's a mental condition. Is that a good way to put it, mental condition? Because I definitely remember talking about it quite a bit during abnormal psychology class. We actually talked about stuff like amnesia and fugues? I forgot the name of it. I really need to look back at that book sometime soon. I think it's still on one of my drawers somewhere.
To be honest, I have something else on my mind right now.
Something else?
You said the DVD contains recordings of us being interviewed by the headmaster, right? What were the interviews about?
The headmaster sat each of us down, one at a time, and asked us the same question.
A question none of you are probably gonna like.
He asked us if we could accept the idea of spending the rest of our lives in this school.
What kind of question is that?
And how did we answer?
We'd say no, obviously.
You're not gonna like the answer then.
Actually, we all said we could. Even me. I heard myself say yes. I could spend the rest of my life at this school.
Why? Why would you say yes to something like that?
I don't know. I don't remember a thing.
The same goes for everyone else. Nobody remembers. You don't remember choosing to live here forever, or even talking to the headmaster about it at all.
It doesn't matter if I remember or not. Even if I bought the whole amnesia thing, the idea that I would want to live here forever? That's just insane! How can I believe that?
Insane or not, we can't move forward until you accept it. Am I right?
You sure are, 'cause it's all true.
What?
I know it sounds absurd, but if it's the truth, there's nothing we can do about it.
Indeed. We only have one path in front of us.
Then, we really...
Yep, you all totally lost your memory at the same time.
This is all... making my head hurt.
I don't want to think about complicated stuff, please!
And this isn't like some normal kind of memory loss. You stole those specific memories from us, didn't you?
Oopsie, you figured that part out too, huh?
Of course. There's no way we would all just happen to get amnesia at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be way too convenient.
But how could someone just steal our memories?
How? Come, that hardly matters right now. If I said it was hypnotism, would you believe me? Or we opened up your skulls and messed with your brains?
I'm pretty sure opening up their skulls and messing with their brains would do a lot worse than just give them amnesia. Just saying.
Would you really believe anything I said? How it happened doesn't matter right now.
What matters is figuring out what memories you took from us. That's what you're trying to say, right?
I knew I could count on you.
You were always my favorite, Byakuya. A shame we couldn't work on the same side.
The interview with the headmaster, taking that group photo, those can't be the only memories we lost. There must have been a purpose to it all. A reason for taking away our memories.
Of course there was a purpose. It all has to do with the original motive.
The original motive.
You mean the motive you came up with? To try and get us to all kill each other?
That has something to do with the memories you stole from us?
It sure does. But that part's still a secret. Anyway, I'm sure it's not easy, but let's all focus on the class trial for the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Why couldn't you move us over to that earlier?
Okay, so you want us to figure out who killed her before we do anything else.
So until we do that, well, either way, we have to explain every last remaining mystery. So, the one who killed Mukuro, the true mastermind, that's what we need to expose! Okay, some of these I actually don't remember. Some of them I do, others I do not.
So who did it? Who killed her?
Whoever did it is the same one who's behind everything. That much I'm sure of.
But when you think about it, is the mastermind really here in the school?
Of course! They have to be here somewhere.
What makes you so sure?
What does make me so sure?
Exactly. You're just making stuff up. There's no way the mastermind is here. The mastermind is probably a million.
Is it this one? Okay, good.
No, that's wrong.
Yeah, having to re-record this kind of makes this less exciting, doesn't it?
There's no question that the mastermind is somewhere within the school.
How do you know? Did you find some evidence or something?
In the back of the data center, I found a panel that controls Monokuma.
Owie, back me up on this. You were there with me.
The mastermind must have been using that to control him all this time. So there can't be any doubt. The mastermind has been inside the school all along.
There can't be any doubt. In which case, there also can be no doubt that the mastermind is one of us.
What? Why?
Recall what Makoto told us Monokuma said to him earlier.
Oh, is this that same? Yeah, but it's the same cutscene. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
So if the mastermind is in the school, we have to assume it can only be that 16th student.
But how'd they manage to survive all of this?
So we're the only ones here? It's not me! I'm not the mastermind!
Well, it's not me!
I blame Makoto!
Of course you do.
What?
Why me?
'Cause it's super weird how you're the only one who survived being executed.
Oh, I get it! The only way he could have survived is if he was actually the mastermind himself, right?
You shut up.
Aw, nuts! You got me!
Wait, what are you trying to say?
Everyone, calm down. There's no reason to panic.
Thank you, Kyoko.
The mastermind's true identity will become clear soon enough. Just as soon as we find out who killed Mukuro.
That's a good point. Rather than wasting time bickering, we should put our minds to work solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, how much time have we already spent talking about the murder?
He's right. What more is there to talk about?
If you want something to talk about, I think there might be one thing. We haven't fully established what Mukuro's fatal injury was.
That's a good point. I kind of remember the 5th trial. It was just non-stop bickering about who did it, what killed her, blah, blah, blah. None of you were really sure about what killed her, really. I think it wasn't until about the end that we all decided, oh, it had to be the blow to the back of the head. But after talking to Kyoko, we know that's not it now, do we?
Huh? But I thought we figured that out. She died when she got hit in the back of the head.
No, that isn't actually what killed her. It was something entirely different. Wouldn't you agree, Makoto?
Mukuro's actual cause of death must have been the other wounds.
I got it! All of the wounds covering her body. That's what really killed her.
Hey, now hold on a second. You did read the Monokuma file, right?
The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old.
It made it pretty clear. Those wounds were made at least a few days ago. So they can't possibly be what killed her.
Consider this. What if the murder itself took place at least a few days ago?
What?
Yeah, you ever thought about that, Yasuhiro? Oh wait, probably not.
What if, when we discovered her body, she'd already been dead for several days? If that's true, then naturally the wounds that killed her would appear to be however many days old.
That doesn't make any sense. Because because she had all those wounds before she ever came here.
I seem to recall reading her profile, and it said that she didn't have a single wound or scar on her when she arrived.
Huh? How do you know that?
Isn't it obvious? She was the ultimate soldier, right? So that means, you know...
You're wrong.
She denied me before I could even say anything. Come on. I mean, you think I'm...
Toko, calm down. Come back to reality, please.
I'm not weird, okay? At least listen to what I have to say before you deny me.
If you're so sure we're gonna deny you, why bother saying it in the first place? Okay, I thought we were going into a bullet time battle with her, but we're not. Anyway, I think I know I need to... Where's Mukuro's profile? There it is.
Mukuro was the ultimate soldier.
Can't deny that.
She must have been in 100 different battles. So, when you think about it, obviously, she got all those wounds in battle.
Ah, damn it.
Are you finished?
I'll have to do that slow-mo thing to get that.
You didn't deny me this time, Z-Wimsy.
Easy.
You made me go all cutesy.
Don't worry, there wasn't anything cute about it.
Who said they're way cuter? No, those wounds didn't come from the battlefield. One look at what was written about her and that should become clear.
Got all those wounds.
No, that's wrong.
Sorry, she didn't. Just read her profile, it'll tell you everything you gotta know.
No, Mukuro didn't suffer those wounds in battle. The file we found in the headmaster's room said as much. Despite the time she spent in battle after battle as a member of Fenrir, when she entered this school, she hadn't sustained a single injury.
No wonder she was called the ultimate soldier. She was so ultimate she didn't get a scar from her many battles.
To be denied so completely. Actually, it's kind of refreshing.
I'm not gonna even discuss what that could possibly mean. Let's just move on.
Maybe it's because of all of Master's training.
I keep saying, just no. Don't go with Byakuya. You can do a lot better than him.
Anyway, so we can be sure that Mukuro suffered all those wounds after coming to this school. In which case, they could be the very thing that killed her.
As a matter of fact, it's hard to imagine any other possibility. When examining her body, I found that her stomach and head wounds came after she was already dead.
Unless anyone has any better suggestions, I think we can say this with confidence. The wounds Mukuro sustained all over her body are what ultimately killed her.
Alright, now we just gotta figure out what caused those wounds.
But if that's what killed her, then does that mean she's really been dead for who knows how long?
That's exactly what it means. When we found her body in the garden, she'd already been dead for several days.
So then, what about the little matter of what happened last night?
Oh, that?
Makoto, you said you were attacked in your room by a masked assailant.
Once again, no Fenrir tattoo on this part of the hand, so therefore that's not I almost said Makoto. That's not Mukuro.
If Mukuro had already been dead for several days, certainly it couldn't have been her.
That is true. That definitely wasn't Mukuro. One look at that hand would tell you that no, it's not her.
So who was it that attacked you?
The identity of the one who attacked me. I can't think of anything else.
I got it! The one who attacked me was the true mastermind. When we discovered Mukuro in the garden wearing the same mask, I naturally assumed she must have been the one who attacked me, but I was wrong. It wasn't her at all. It was the mastermind.
What's so funny?
What are you laughing at?
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just getting a little impatient sitting here listening. I think I'm gonna jump in. Let's start off with a nice, easy question. Your assumption that I attacked Makoto is just that, right? An assumption. You can't really know who was under that mask, can you? I mean, that's the whole point of a mask. The true identity of the masked attacker is Mukuro Ikusaba. At least, that's what I think.
Just because that's what you think doesn't mean it's true. I mean, everyone's going up against you. Therefore, it's safe to say that whatever you say could very well be a lie.
Do you have any evidence that might convince me otherwise?
No, there's no way Mukuro is the one that attacked me, even if I didn't see their face. You did see their hand. Mukuro had a very obvious Fenrir tattoo. Comparing that to the masked attacker, it should be obvious. Gotta scan something here, and let's see what it's gotta be. I should stop doing this shit. Let's go.
You never saw their face, right? So you can't have any idea who was under that mask. I'm telling you now, it was Mukuro Ikusaba.
Oh, crap.
You're wrong. Even without
Damn.
seeing their face, there's another part of the attacker we can use to prove it wasn't her.
Oh? And what is this other part? Is it the right hand? Or the left hand? Maybe the right foot? Or perhaps the left foot? Or could it be the hips?
Okay, I'm goofed up a bit there because for some odd reason my taskbar is showing there. You might not see it, but I certainly do. And I don't know why it's there. I'm thinking it might be a mistake from the updates Windows got recently. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta hope to God I don't need to do anything that involves shooting down there because otherwise I'm gonna have issues. Her most noticeable feature, the tattoo that marked her membership in Fenrir. That tattoo was in a certain easy-to-spot area.
I'm telling you now, it was...
Really? Explain why there's no tattoo on her right hand, then. Can you explain that to me?
Mukuro had a tattoo on her right hand, if I remember correctly. A representation of Fenrir. In other words, a wolf tattoo. But I saw the right hand of the person who attacked me. And there was no such tattoo. So there's no way the person behind the mask was Mukuro.
Yeah, well, okay. You got me. I guess it wasn't her.
Right, so, who is it?
But that still doesn't prove that it was me. It could have been, you know, someone else, right?
Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I all have solid alibis for that entire night.
Yeah! We were in the gym tearing you apart, so it could have been any of us.
Oh, okay, sure. It couldn't have been any of you. But what about Kyoko? It totally could have been her. Uh-oh, no snappy comeback. Did I score a bullseye?
If you insist, I don't mind showing you.
Huh? Show me what?
What do you think? I'll show you the one thing that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it wasn't me.
Before anyone could say anything. Ugh. Kyoko was removing her gloves.
Your hands!
Without thinking, I let out a gasp. It was more than just a little burned skin.
Awful, isn't it? It happened when I was first learning to be a detective. I was inexperienced.
Eesh. Probably, like, what kind of burns are those? Like, what degree? Like, I don't know my burns that well, but those are some pretty bad burns.
I thought you didn't want anyone to see those scars.
If it means we get another step closer to unmasking the mastermind, it doesn't really bother me.
Kyoko seemed to savor the words as she said them. Then she put her gloves back on.
My scars should suffice as proof. Makoto, did the person who attacked you have scars like mine?
Nope.
No, not at all. I'm positive.
Then this much has been made clear. There can be no doubt that the one who attacked Makoto is the true mastermind.
This is just awful. On top of my secret being revealed, I had to look at those positively grotesque scars of yours.
Did you say positively? Was that another bear pun that you sneaked in and the captions didn't even catch that?
Sorry. Did I say that out loud? I do hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
You know your itty-bitty little feelings.
Not at all. You can say whatever you want.
Sure, as long as it means pushing me farther into the corner, right? But I'm not cornered just yet. Because if you haven't noticed, the circumstances surrounding Mukuro's death are totally unknown.
That's true. All we know right now is she was killed a good while before this morning.
On the contrary, we don't know anything other than that.
You're not going to tell us she was already dead before we arrived here or something, are you?
Nope. That was the headmaster.
In that regard, you have nothing to worry about. I promise you, without a doubt, she died after our little killing game began here.
Then somehow she was killed in secret without any of us knowing.
And after she died, who knows how much time went by before we found her, right? Did the culprit stash her somewhere? She couldn't have been in the garden the whole time, could she?
If she was, she would have been totally decomposed. Just like your brain.
Then, she was being stored somewhere?
You know, I really didn't appreciate that comment, Toko. You want to wait till after this is all done before you start insulting me?
But to hide a body here, to just store it somewhere?
Psst, guys, there's a Monokuma symbol on Aoi's pants. She's the mastermind. There's only one place. I can't think of anywhere else the body could have been stored.
I got it! Mukuro's body was probably kept hidden in the biolab.
Biolab? You mean on the 5th floor?
Yeah.
That's right. It's actually set up for use as a morgue.
Same place you got knocked out at, Aoi. Or not Aoi, Toko. Why'd I say Aoi? I don't think Aoi even made it to the biolab.
So it's the perfect place to hide a body. And it'd keep the body preserved at the same time.
Then you're also saying the body was moved from the biolab to the garden.
And I have no doubt that that's exactly what happened. In fact, I have proof.
Proof that shows the body was carried from the biolab to the garden. There's something that made its way from the biolab to the garden, and that would be the tarp.
I got it! What makes me so sure the body was carried from the biolab to the garden is the tarp that we found in the garden. When I was checking it over again, I noticed something. I noticed that some text had been stamped on one corner of the tarp.
Now the question is, how come nobody noticed it with the tarp in the garden?
Oh, it says biolab.
Or back in chapter 5, how come nobody noticed it during that part of the game?
Holy cow! How'd you notice that tiny little thing?
Makoto's nitpicky nature seems to have surfaced with perfect timing.
This proves that the tarp originally came from the biolab. In fact, there's a whole stack of tarps just like it in there.
So when the killer moved the body to the garden, they must have grabbed a tarp to wrap it in. Then they simply left it as it was to protect against the sprinklers, and put the coat on it afterwards.
Wow, you made everything sound so amazingly consistent.
But that's just a wild guess. Where's your evidence? Prove that the body was wrapped in a tarp and moved.
Oh, somebody looks nervous.
There is no evidence. I was simply explaining what I think happened. But you seem to be getting pretty worked up about it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Monokuma. Every time I want to say Monokuma, a part of me wants to say Makoto and vice versa. I gotta stop doing that.
Worked up?
Now that the conversation has turned to the topic of the biolab, you must be getting pretty nervous. Because the key to uncovering your secret identity is hidden within that room.
Are you talking about unmasking the mastermind?
You see, the biolab contained an inconsistency. One so major it can't be overlooked.
An inconsistency in the biolab? Could you be talking about...
La la la, I can't hear you. La 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 la.
Hey, get your face out of my face, okay?
Such a child. Oh well, just ignore him.
I need to pull myself together and think. The inconsistency in the biolab. Could you be talking about...
Hey, by the way, Makoto, what about that one thing?
What one thing?
What do you think? I'm talking about your family.
You want to go that far, huh? What?
Don't tell me you forgot about that video message.
Oh, for a second I thought my game froze.
So what do you think? Are you sure your family's still okay?
Why are you bringing that up now?
Your mom, your dad, your little sister. What do you think has happened to your family? Are they really as safe as you might have assumed?
Stop talking about that!
Calm down, Makoto. He wants you to get upset.
Yeah, and using his family is a good way to do it. Yeah, I need to calm down. I can't let him get to me. He's just saying that because he knows we're getting close to the truth of the biolab. So if I want to shut him up, I need to expose the inconsistency and slam him with it. The inconsistency has to be that one area where the numbers just don't match up. Oh, bullet time battle. Where's the tab? There. Okay, here we go. Bum, 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 bum.
Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? Proof!
Don't worry, I'll give you proof in a
sure
bit.
About this? Proof!
See? Now where's the thing about the
I'm not listening!
biolab lights, biolab lights, biolab lights?
Prove it?
There we go.
The inconsistency Kyoko's talking about is... the lights!
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What about the lights?
Let's see, there are 9 lights, but 10 deaths. And if the lights come on when a corpse is in one of those slots, how come there's only 9 lights,
Like I said before, the biolab also acts as a morgue. And as part of that, a giant refrigerator was installed in there. That's where everyone who's died is stored.
And it was set up so that when a slot had a body in it, a blue light would turn on.
In other words, if the blue light is on, that means there's a body in that slot.
Yep.
But I counted up the number of blue lights that were on, including the one Mukuro was in, and there were only 9.
Why does that matter? You gotta give me the bite-sized version here, man.
You need to pay attention, Yasuhiro. I mean, I know I've got attention problems myself, but in something like this, you gotta afford to pay attention. 9 lights doesn't make sense. The number of lights that should be on is...
I got it! 10 of the lights should have been on. Any other number is incredibly suspicious.
Suspicious? Why?
That's simple. Just recall who's died here so far, and it should become clear.
That's right. That's the key to solving this mystery. Sayaka died first. Junko was second. Leon was third. Chihiro was fourth. Mondo was fifth. Taka was sixth. Then Hifumi was seventh. Celeste was eighth. Sakura was ninth. And the victim number 10 was Mukuro.
So 10 people in all?
That's right. Any other number should make you immediately suspicious. But according to the lights in the biolab, only 9 people were being stored there.
You're saying a dead body just up and disappeared?
Maybe?
I got it! The mastermind destroyed one of the bodies to get rid of evidence.
That's what I thought too. Like, I remember, I believe, last episode was it? I said that maybe one of the bodies got thrown into the man-eating plant. Or rather, Mukuro's corpse. I was thinking before I found Mukuro's corpse in the biolab, I thought that Mukuro's corpse had been thrown into the man-eating plant. That big-ass thing that looks like one of those... What's that one plant called? The 100-year plant or whatever? It only blooms once every few years or so. I don't remember the name.
But if they wanted to do that, they would have destroyed Mukuro's body, since they actually killed her. And yet, her body was left alone.
Then, whose body disappeared?
It may very well be that none of them disappeared.
But if that's true, then why doesn't the body count match?
Including Monokuma's executions. There have apparently been 10 deaths, but there were only 9 bodies. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I'm completely lost. How can the number of victims be less than the number of murders?
The reason there are less bodies than murders. The explanation for more murders than victims. Why is that? What would it take for that to make sense? Well, it can't be that because there were 10 murders and executions total. And the mastermind didn't destroy a body, so the same person had to have been killed twice.
John! What about if the same person was killed twice?
Huh? Killed twice?
Officially, 10 murders have been committed so far, but one of the victims may have been murdered, and then murdered again.
Murdered and murdered again?
If that's the case, there could have been 10 killings, but still only 9 victims, right?
Makes sense.
Technically, you're right, I guess. But still, something like that.
Oh, I see a bit of Monokuma's face in the side there.
Could easily have happened. No, it is what happened.
Sounds like you're already convinced. Then can you tell us who was killed twice?
It was Mukuro, of course. Before she was killed as Mukuro Ikusaba, she was killed as someone else.
And that's why the body had to be stored in the biolab until the moment we found it in the garden.
No, that's crazy talk. She was killed as someone else? Come on!
Oh, I don't know. You're still looking flustered, Monokuma.
Besides, who could that someone else even have been?
All you have to do is look at those bodily injuries of hers, and that will become obvious.
Yep.
Nothing's gonna become obvious, because Kyoko's totally delusional.
Says you. But we gotta scan something this time. Pretty sure I do anyway.
Who is this someone else that Mukuro was killed as? Was it Sayaka Maizono?
No.
Junko Enoshima?
I'll just let this one play out.
Kuwata? Chihiro Fujisaki? Mando Owada? Kiyotaka Ishimaru? Hifumi Yamada? Celestia Lu... whatever? Or maybe Sakura Ogami? No. There's no way anyone was murdered twice!
Mukuro died from the wounds she had all over her body. Wasn't there someone else who suffered the same sort of injury?
There's no way anyone...
Oh, I think I know who. Well, I do know who because I had to play this twice.
Junko, wasn't her fatal injury pretty similar to Mukuro's?
What do you mean?
Well, remember what happened to her? She was impaled by a bunch of spears, all over her body.
And Mukuro died from a number of wounds across her body. When you compare that to the stab wounds Junko suffered...
Then the similarities match?
Yes, and those are the only fatal injuries that match up. That explains why those 2 bodies are actually one and the same.
So let me see if I have this straight.
Yeah, go ahead and give everyone a recap.
Junko, or someone going by that name, was stabbed to death with multiple spears. Then her body was kept in the biolab for however long before being dragged out again. Only this time, it was presented as the corpse of one Mukuro Ikusaba.
It all matches up, right? Those wounds Junko suffered could easily be these same injuries.
Then it's really true? Mukuro and Junko are the same person? Wait, so then... what does it all mean?
It means that there haven't been 10 victims, but 9. Which also means that among the people we thought were dead, one is still alive.
Yeah, and it's pretty obvious who the one still alive is.
And that's the true identity of the mastermind?
Who is it? Who's behind all this?
We already know the answer to that. It's Mukuro. She's still alive.
Not quite Toko, not quite Toko.
She took Junko's body and made it look like she was the one who died. So Mukuro is still alive. She's gotta be. Total silence? Then I must be right. I'm right, aren't I?
Mukuro? Alive? The one that's still alive is Mukuro? But can we really believe that? No, there's no way. There's no way Mukuro Ikusaba is still alive. Alright, what'll prove that Mukuro is deader than dead? Her fatal injury, perhaps?
The body we found in the garden. It wasn't Mukuro.
Then she's still alive?
That's right. She made it look like Junko's body was her. So the mastermind's true identity is Mukuro.
What do you say, Monokuma? Do you give up?
Even Monokuma's not sure about this. For that to be true, then that couldn't have been her body we found in the garden. Is that really possible? Wait a minute!
It wasn't Mukuro.
The vitals! Is that crap?
No, that's wrong.
I didn't think about the vitals. Because I never pay attention to that stuff.
No, the body we found in the garden was Mukuro. That's one thing we can be sure of. The body's appearance and measurements are consistent with her records. Right, Kyoko?
She was 5 foot 6 inches tall and weighed 97 pounds. Her vitals were 31, 21, 32.
Excuse me, she's 5'7", thank you very much.
Everything in her profile is consistent with that corpse.
And then there's the matter of the Fenrir tattoo. So there's no question it's her.
But if Mukuro's not the mastermind, then who's actually still alive?
Someone's made it look like they died, but they're actually still alive. There's only one person it could be. And give me a sec to find her. Where are you? There you are, Junko and Ashima.
Here's my answer. Junko is still alive. It's the only possibility.
Are you sure about that?
Huh?
I admit, since Mukuro is undoubtedly dead, Junko does seem to be the only other explanation. But we saw her get impaled. She died right before our very eyes. If Junko were still alive, the death we saw would had to have been some kind of charade.
Dude, the fatal injury she had matches up with the wounds Junko here had.
But you yourself confirmed she was dead, did you not?
Now that you mention it. I gently placed my hand on Junko's lifeless body. I touched her wrist to check for a pulse like they do in movies and stuff, but she really is dead. Now that I think about it, that pose looks the exact same as the one I saw in the garden. There wasn't anything else to say. She was gone. I did check, absolutely. And I can see for sure.
She was dead. There's no question. Junko was dead.
So, the idea that she's still alive.
It must be wrong.
Then you're withdrawing your previous statement?
I know you gave it your best shot, but too bad. I guess your conclusion was a dud. Too bad, too bad.
Something tells me it's taking Monokuma everything he's got to prevent himself from, like, prancing around Makoto going, too bad, ha 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 ha.
This case hasn't been decided just yet.
Oh?
You haven't given up already, have you, Makoto?
Huh?
No, of course not. There's no way I'd give up that easy.
That's all well and good, but how do you intend to solve the problem standing in your way? Junko absolutely died. Mukuro absolutely died.
Then both of them are dead, right? There can't be any kind of survivor story.
I think we need to look at this from the opposite direction.
Huh? The opposite direction?
Let's assume Junko is still alive. If so, how could she have survived?
How could Junko have survived? I checked her. She was dead, I'm sure of it. But still, if she were alive somehow, could it be that Junko's not the one that died? It wasn't Junko, but someone else entirely? Maybe she used some sort of trick. Alright. Here we go with another Hangman's Gambit. Alright, I think this word is supposed to be. Where's an E? I want to make double sure. Yep, it looks like L-A. I think I... Hey, hold still! A-C-E... D. Replaced.
Now I understand.
Yay, I got some health back from that.
That's it. What if she switched places with someone else?
Switched places?
That's right. Before the spears could kill her, she got someone to take her place. Specifically, Mukuro Ikusaba.
Then that would make it Mukuro's corpse that showed up later.
Which is why the body's height and weight and everything match Mukuro's profile, right?
I don't know anything about this switching places thing, but... that had to be Junko who got stabbed to death, right?
Yeah, you're saying they switched? When could they even have done that? Right when she was about to die? Like she used some kind of ninja replacement technique?
For as weird as this series gets, I don't think they'd borrow something from Naruto or something.
Good point. There's just no way they could have switched like that. So maybe the whole idea is wrong.
There has to be some way. I need to figure out how to explain they could have switched. They switched at the beginning because they couldn't have switched after death, and they couldn't have switched at the moment of death.
I got it! The two of them may have switched places from the very beginning.
What? From the beginning?
Yes, from the moment we first met. If that's when they switched, then they wouldn't have had to switch at the moment of death, right?
That's a given.
After all, the one we saw at that point would have already been Mukuro.
Hold on. So, you're saying the Junko we first met was actually Mukuro all along?
Then we'd already met her?
I had like a normal conversation with her.
A normal one! How could that be her?
When we first met, none of us knew who anyone else was. So Mukuro could have simply told us her name was Junko, and we never would have known the difference. That would easily allow the two of them to switch places from the very beginning.
Wait, but Mukuro had a tattoo on the back of her hand, right? Junko never had any tattoo like that, did she?
She could have hidden it with foundation or something like that.
That and the corpse we found had fake nails on it.
If she did, it likely melted away in the explosion, exposing the tattoo after the body was extinguished. Plus, there were the fake nails found on the hands of Mukuro's body. They were the same fake red nails she was wearing when we all met for the first time.
But if she really did use foundation...
Correct. Even if there was no tattoo on her hand, I couldn't say for certain it wasn't Mukuro. So I'm glad nobody noticed that glaring hole when we were trying to figure out who attacked Makoto. But too bad for you, Monokuma. You can't deny it anymore.
Well,
Wait, so this whole thing was a setup from the very beginning?
If that's true, it was quite an elaborate plan to be sure, making it look like Mukuro was Junko.
The reason such an elaborate plan was possible is because the two of them were working together.
So Mukuro, the ultimate despair, teamed up with someone like her. In other words, it would be fair to say that Junko herself was also the ultimate despair.
well, you look upset. Did we hit a nerve?
What's wrong? Lost the will to fight back?
I think he's just afraid.
Afraid? What's that mean, afraid?
Oh, the music stopped. Something's about to happen.
Fear is only possible where hope is possible. I only have despair, so fear is an alien concept to me.
Then why haven't you been saying anything?
Because it's a bunch of nonsense. Junko's my secret identity? As if.
Then why did you try and protect Junko's real identity?
I tried to protect her identity? When did I do that?
So he still refuses to admit it. But he can try to deceive us all he wants. It doesn't matter, because I've already figured it out. He tried to hide Junko's identity, and not once, but twice. The first time was during our latest investigation. Yeah, this took me a bit to get the first time, but there's what he did with an interview DVD.
I got it! While I was in the AV room, watching the DVD of our interviews with the headmaster.
It wasn't just the monitor. The DVD player itself had apparently turned off, which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. But what the heck just happened? Oopsie, it looks like it broke. Out of service. How convenient. What? It just so happened to break just now? Now then, when does it matter? Failure can strike anywhere, anytime. That's what failure is, right?
You made sure I couldn't finish watching the video. And the reason you did that is because you didn't want me to see the real Junko, did you?
Oh, yeah! If everyone was in that video, of course Junko would have had to show up.
And if Makoto saw the real Junko, it would have been totally obvious that the Junko we met was an imposter.
Yep,
That whole power outage thing was just a fluke.
I'm sure. No, it wasn't a fluke. The mastermind definitely orchestrated that power outage. And that's not the only time they tried to hide Junko's identity. The mastermind tried to cover up one other piece of evidence. I've got to reveal that! Here's another bullet time battle, everybody. Let's get it going. Making sure I'm on the tab key.
What? What do you want? What? What do you want? Are you sure about this? What are you even talking about?
Here we go, final strike. Is it the
That's impossible!
group photo? Let's go! Go!
This should prove it. The video wasn't the only thing you tried to cover up. You did the same thing with this group photo.
Uh-oh.
I think you've been caught, Monokuma.
I noticed it just a little while ago, when we were all comparing the photos we'd gotten. In all the photos, there's a certain similarity, an unusual circumstance.
What's so unusual about them?
The unusual circumstance common to all these pictures. You don't see a certain someone's face. The unusual circumstance is Junko's face.
Junko's face. The one thing common to every single photo is that you can't see her face.
Splashed by Leon in that picture. Talking to Chihiro in that one. Looks like talking to Celeste in that one. And getting blocked by Kiyotaka in that one.
It's hard to believe her face would just happen to be hidden in every single picture, don't you think? And on top of that, in this photo, you can see that Mukuro is clearly visible. So in other words, at that point, the two of them hadn't switched yet. With all that in mind, there's no doubt that the girl whose face is hidden here is the real Junko, which is why you had to have pictures that didn't show her face. Because if we could have seen her face, then it would have clearly revealed that the Junko in the pictures wasn't the Junko that we knew.
Yeah, got anything to say for yourself, Monokuma?
Xanadu!
Isn't that from a movie?
I believe everything Makoto said is true. Junko and Mukuro switched places before we met either of them.
So she killed Mukuro, who had taken her place, making it look like she'd died. And the real Junko is still alive.
And she's the one behind this whole murderous situation. This killing game. She's the true mastermind and the ultimate despair.
Xanadu times 2!
I feel like that is from a movie, but which one? Is there a movie called Xanadu? At the very least, I know it's from a movie.
With this, the identity and the crimes of the mastermind have been exposed.
No, wait, hold on!
Don't bother trying to deny it. There's no more room for debate. You don't have anywhere left to run. I'll prove everything, right now.
Let's go. Up comic book time, everyone. Finish the thought. What was the identity of the ultimate fashionista who I met in the main hall? Well, it's supposed to be Junko, but apparently that was actually Mukuro. And then that happened. It's still a pretty bad way to go. Where did the mastermind keep Mukuro's body? Kept him in the morgue, or biolab technically. The mastermind attacked me with something. What was it? It was the knife. Where's that knife at? When the mastermind attacked me, who was it that stopped them? It was... oh crap. No, in the game. Here we go again. Why is that taskbar there? I tried getting rid of it earlier, like not get rid of the taskbar, but make it not pop up in game, but I don't know. I've heard people suggest that it's a glitch on Windows' part. After their surprise attack failed, the mastermind fled my room. Gotta be careful that I don't accidentally click on something that would use up a lot of CPU, like the editing program. What did the mastermind do with the mask after they took it off? Why, they threw it on Mukuro. What was the condition of the dead body when I first found it in the garden? Looked like that. And then Jill was Jill and tried removing it, which resulted in that bomb going off, her getting careened across the garden, and we couldn't identify the mysterious body because it got blown up. With all that, I think it's time to reenact. I had to fix the taskbar to make it stop appearing for now. I'll probably have to fix it once I'm done recording. So, let's get this reenactment going.
The killer is you! We met the ultimate fashionista, Junko Enoshima, right after we all arrived here. But that wasn't the real Junko. The girl we saw before us was actually the 16th student who had taken Junko's place. And that girl's name was Mukuro Ikusaba.
And how did she get rewarded for this? She got skewered.
But it wasn't long before she died at the hands of Monokuma. In other words, the mastermind, Junko Enoshima. Her body was kept in a biolab, which had been converted into a morgue until Junko decided to put her body to use.
The crystallization effect was pretty
Junko
neat.
dragged the body out of the biolab, using the tarp to carry her to the garden. She fabricated the murder to try and frame Kyoko, who'd proven to be one big thorn in her side. Meanwhile, she wanted us all to think Mukuro was still alive and hiding somewhere inside the school. So she put on a mask and then attacked me. After making sure I'd gotten a good look at the mask, she left the room. Then she put the same mask on Mukuro's body.
You know, I always comment about this art style, it seems, every time this happens, but the art style really does make everything look a bit more deranged, especially that mask.
This was all to make us think the person who attacked me and the corpse were one and the same. She wanted us to believe the murder had only recently taken place.
Boom!
Finally, by strapping a bomb to the body, she was able to destroy any remaining evidence. She needed to hide the body's true identity.
Well, it could be that they're just an avid fan of explosions.
She had to make sure we didn't find out it was actually the same person we'd met in the beginning. This is the truth behind Mukuro's murder, and the one who carried it all out is the true mastermind. The one controlling Monokuma. The real Junko Enoshima.
Hooray!
That's the whole story behind this incident. Well, what do you have to say to that?
Nothing, it seems.
What? Are you broken again?
You can't get out of this, so don't even try.
Come on, say something.
Come on! It's time you finally revealed yourself!
It's not like you're an endangered species or something. How long do you plan to keep hiding?
Give it up, Junko. The game's over.
Over? Did you really think the story would end once we reached the climax of the case? Wrong! There's still plenty more to go!
Oh god. Ultimate Despair Junko Enoshima, complete with 2 fair ribbon things for her hair.
We have been waiting so very long for peasants like you to appear.
Excuse me?
If you swear your fealty to us, we will reward you with half of the entire world. We've even drawn up the deed already. We will grant you honor, status, in some of our home cooking.
Okay.
Have you made your choice? Will you serve under us?
No thanks. I don't believe a word you say.
Oh, did you think I was being serious? Sorry, I was just messing with you.
Nah, I didn't believe you from the start.
It's been so long since I've had an audience. Even I'm not sure what kind of role I'm supposed to play.
This is the mastermind? She's the real Junko Enoshima.
Anyway, looks like I've finally been set free. Having to play Monokuma all the time, day after day.
I sound really bored. If only you knew how boring it all was.
It was like I was stuck in purgatory. Or like a slow suicide. I get bored so easy, you know?
You know, now that I'm hearing this voice again, this one also sounds familiar. Like, when I was editing the other Danganronpa episode, I was trying to figure out who voiced the headmaster, and I couldn't find anything on that. You sound like Naz, is what I'm trying to say. You sound a lot like Naz. So I'm wondering if it's the same voice actress.
Your face.
Huh? What about my face? What's wrong with my beautiful face? People have told me I'm cuter than 100 chihuahuas combined.
Nah, chihuahuas are okay. Now floppy-eared dogs like beagles and dachshunds, that's where it's at. They're so adorable. Okay, enough smiles. I gotta get all serious now.
I feel like this isn't the first time I've seen you.
Probably because it's not. No, I do remember seeing it. I'm sure I've seen her too somewhere. It was definitely before I got to this school. Yeah, it was before arriving at school, I do believe.
I got it!
It's the only one that makes sense out of that
That's
list.
right. It was before I ever came to this school. I remember seeing a magazine cover. And you were on it.
Wow, you have a pretty good memory. I guess that's why you've made it this far, huh?
So I was right. Then what you told me in the main hall when this all began...
I've seen her on tons of magazine covers, but I feel like that doesn't quite match up to reality. Huh? Oh, are you talking about my cover photos and junk? Well, of course! Those are totally photoshopped. Photoshopped? Yeah, you know, edited to hell and back, with like computers and junk. Oh, so they aren't real.
Sometimes a little lie is necessary to keep things moving along. Wouldn't you agree?
That explains why she didn't quite seem the same. Because she was a different person all along.
I'm me. And Mukuro is Mukuro.
Rather, Mukuro was Mukuro. Now she's a human pincushion.
She tried her best. But there's just no way she could have passed as the ultimate fashionista. Two people can never become one as long as the walls of mind and body exist. Not even if they're twins.
Twins?
I know, it's such a cliche, right? I'm almost embarrassed to admit it.
Yeah! She killed her own sister. That's really douchey.
So basically, Mukuro and I had your stereotypical twin relationship. The older sister, tough and proud. That was Mukuro. The younger sister, smart and cute. That was...
Me! Junko fucking Enoshima!
Okay, you wanna tone that down a few notches?
And together, we were the Despair Sisters, aka the ultimate despair!
Whoa! She's a totally different person now!
Like I said, I get bored easy as hell! I even get fucking bored with myself! But if you're twins, why do you have different last names?
Good question.
Oh, that again? You have any idea how many times people ask me that shit?
Well, I'm sure people would like to know an answer.
Maybe it's new to your dumb ass, but it bores me to tears. Answering the same questions over and over? Just make up whatever answer you want. I don't give a shit. The truth's fucking lame anyway.
There are people there that like to know the truth. Just saying.
But if she was your twin, that means you killed your own sister?
And for reasons deeper and darker than the ocean. Ha! As if.
Well, I suppose I'd better explain.
Where'd you find the time to get rid of one of your pigtails and replace it with just a big old ponytail?
For my plan to work, someone had to be able to control the killing game from behind the scenes. The so-called mastermind had to operate Monokuma, keep an eye on everyone, things like that. But after looking at the situation, I determined it would be impossible for Mukuro to perform such duties. Because naturally, she turned out to be the letdown of the family, leaving me behind to run off and join some band of mercenaries. Such a disappointment.
Wow, I guess you're not the only one who thinks a family is a disappointment. You know, it's odd to think about that you and Kyoko have something in common.
So, I decided to play the role of director and have her join the rest of you in your school life. I could have let her work alongside me, but she would have been useless to me that way. Besides, 15 students seemed like a solid number to start with. Of course, the fact that she was the ultimate soldier posed something of a problem. She had what I call the three atrocities. Atrociously rank, atrociously filthy, atrociously repulsive.
You really didn't like your sister, did ya?
It was atrociously clear just how out of touch she was with the rest of society. Meanwhile, my ultimate fashionista status has an undeniable appeal that I didn't want to go to waste.
And that's why you switched identities?
Sadly, her inability to match my personality was even greater than I'd calculated. It was a lost cause. She was nothing more than a bit player, an extra unworthy of lines. Being the utter disappointment that she was, anyone would have expected her to get killed off right away, which is precisely why I killed her, to meet everyone's expectations.
That can't be your only reason, can it?
Well, no, of course not. I also did it to avoid becoming bored.
You know, I seem to recall calling Byakuya a sociopath a couple times. I think I'm gonna take that back. Byakuya, I don't believe, is a sociopath. Nah, Junko Enoshima seems to fit that role a lot more than he does. I mean, I don't think he'd be willing to kill family just because he got bored.
I've never been a stickler for following a plan to the letter, you know?
Keep that away from me, please.
If I planned everything out and knew just what was gonna happen, that'd be so boring. So, I changed things just a bit and decided to use Mukuro to make a little point.
Oh, that's an awful pun right there.
In other words, Mukuro's death was a one-sided, premeditated act of betrayal, just as I suspected. When Mukuro was killed, she must have been as surprised as anybody else.
She definitely looks surprised. Huh? This wasn't supposed to... Why me?
So, you figured it out? Well, you're right. There's no way Mukuro could have pulled off such a convincing performance. But she did teach you all a very valuable lesson, don't you think?
How can you talk like that?
Yeah, I'd like to know. Aside from being, utterly depraved.
You sacrificed your own sister. How does that not even bother you?
What? I sacrificed her? That's what's got you so hot under the collar? Jeez, misunderstandings sure are scary. We were the ultimate despair, you know? So we never had any kind of hope or expectations.
Okay, that kind of cutesy voice sounds like something I've heard before. I don't know. I'll do my research onto that later.
Nope. I felt despair as long as I can remember. Like I never should have been born at all.
Does that mean you were clinically depressed?
When I was born, I cried tears of total despair. So that's why for us, it's not a big deal whether we die or kill. We're just those kinds of people. We can do anything.
Okay, maybe clinically depressed is not the term I was looking for, because I'm sure even depressed people would not feel that way.
We've always been filled with despair. So when we do something, we go all the way and live without regret.
So you just murdered your own sister and didn't think anything of it? That's not true at all.
What?
We were twins. How could I not be sad?
You aware of those mushrooms growing on your head, or is that just some kind of representation of your feelings?
That's why it gets me so excited.
The way you sound and the way you said excited, I hope you're not getting turned on by the idea of despair.
Huh? Killing my precious sister with my own two hands? That act is filled with so much despair. You can't help but put a super in front of it. It's like super, 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 super despair. No, more than that. Super, 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 super despair. It just feels so good.
Okay, I think she gets turned on by despair, guys.
What the hell is wrong with you?
And my sister, too. In that moment of death, I think she must have felt that despair. After all, to be murdered by your own sister, and only as an example to someone else, she must have died feeling such excruciating hopelessness. I'm so jealous of her. Super jealous.
I knew you couldn't be just some ordinary person. You're some kind of abnormality.
Turning your own despair into some kind of fetish. Abnormality doesn't even begin to describe it.
What she said.
Like, Genocide Jill is crazy for sure, but this is a whole nother level of nuts!
You're saying I don't compare to some lowly beast that can only kill the weak, right?
You know, you should be thankful that Jill's not around to hear you say that.
So I'm hopelessly attractive, hopelessly brilliant, hopelessly athletic.
I think you're just plain hopeless.
I'm the hopelessly perfect ultimate human.
No, I don't think there's anything perfect about anything you just said.
Yeah, Master's way more perfect. Because on top of everything else, he's got that noble blood. Huh? Don't you mean had that noble blood?
What did you just say? What do you mean by that?
I think I know what's coming. Oh my cane, I do know what's coming. It's so weird making commentary when I had to record this again. It's like, there's so much things I remember saying from the previous recording that I wanted to say, but back then I didn't know what was happening, but now I do know what's happening, and it's just weird.
You still haven't figured that part out yet? Man, you guys are so slow! You haven't even solved all the mysteries, and yet here you are, yapping away!
Are you talking about our memories?
You've already solved this mystery, right? I'm the killer! So how about the next one? Maybe you should solve the riddle of your missing memories. Then you can start gloating.
Okay.
Damn straight! That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to solve all these mysteries. And then, we'll have our victory!
I can't wait!
Alright, then let's just get straight to the point. What memories did you steal from us?
I'm pretty sure she wants us to figure that out on our own.
When the group pictures were taken, and those interviews, it must mean... I got it! It must have something to do with our entrancing exams.
No fair! At least give us a hint!
Your brains are like sponges, all drippy and leaky. I already gave you a hint before. All the memories you lost share something in common with a few other things. Do you recall?
Thinking back to what Monokuma's told us, the memories that were stolen from us and what they must be related to. I remember the first time I did this, I hit the class trials because I thought, oh, maybe it's gotta do with that. No. I'll tell you that, it's not the class trials, it's this.
I got it! You're talking about the motives you provided to try and get us to kill each other, right?
How funny would it have been if it turned out, no, it's not the motives either, and after I said all that.
So you do remember after all. Well, I would hope you wouldn't forget something so important. It was stupid of me to even ask. I apologize from the bottom of my heart for my bad manners. So then, let me ask you another question.
I'm sure you meant that apology, by the way. Totally sure you meant it.
Did you notice that each motive I presented you had a specific theme to it?
Theme?
Yep, you got it. So that's my question to you all. When Sayaka was murdered, what was the theme of the motive I presented?
The theme for the motive Monokuma gave us for the first murder. Monokuma gave us those DVDs. On my DVD was footage of my family. On Sayaka's was her and her friends. They had a dream they all shared. So for the first murder, the motive we were given was human connections.
The driving force behind the motive you presented us with at that point was human connections.
Ding, ding, ding. You got it. Remember those DVDs I gave you guys? Each video showed the total destruction of your most important relationships.
Yeah, like Makoto's
For
family.
example, your family.
And Sayaka's friends.
For example, your friends. I ruined all those relationships and showed you the results. It was to motivate your desire to escape and kickstart your urge to kill. But still, what a cruel thing to do.
You're the one that did it.
Yeah, what I always said.
Yes, well, I'm perfectly happy to accept your disapproval.
Well, good.
Okay, time for the next question.
Okay, take it back. Just switch back to that other thing, please. I'll take bored Junko over this.
So, what was the theme for the second motive?
For the second murder, the motive's theme was, that's when we got those weird envelopes from Monokuma. Mine mentioned how I used to wet the bed, so the theme that time was, 'twas the past.
I got it! It was our past, right?
Yay! Makoto got it right again! That time, the theme was... embarrassing memories and secrets! Yeah! The whole reason Mondo did what he did was to protect his secret.
So, how long do you plan on dragging this out?
Relax, relax. Okay, on to the next question. So, what was the motive for the third murder?
Can this go away, please? The theme for the third murder was, the reason Celeste returned to murder was, she wanted to buy a European castle and live there with a bunch of handsome men. So that time the motive for murder was greed.
I got it! It was money, wasn't it? Greed.
Seek and destroy! Hell yeah, you got it again!
You look really enthusiastic over this.
Goddamn straight it was money! Celeste killed Hifumi and Taka for a little personal gain.
Well, now that I think about it, it's probably because if she really does have such a fetish for despair, this is probably exciting her in ways I don't really want to talk about right now.
Her greed led to all kinds of death and destruction.
What's the point of all this? Why are you making us go through this case by case?
Don't worry, sweet cheeks. Just one more to go. Now, can you tell me the motive behind crazy-ass Sakura's crazy-ass death?
She wasn't crazy ass! You're the one who's crazy ass! The motive in the case of Sakura's death was, what was it that made Sakura decide to kill herself? It had to do with Monokuma exposing Sakura's secret. So the theme of the motive in that fourth case was betrayal.
I got it! In her case, it was betrayal.
Precisely. You see,
I just realized that Mushroom Junko is probably the worst of them all because that's where her fetish for despair becomes extremely, noticeable.
once I revealed Sakura's betrayal, that led to everything that came afterwards. Anyway, it looks like you answered all of my questions correctly. How painfully delightful.
But what's the point? What meaning is there in asking those questions now?
Oh, I'm pretty sure there's a reason.
Relationships? Secrets? Money? Betrayal? These are all pretty standard motives, right? The most normal of normal. Totally middle of the road.
But of course, those aren't the only motives that exist in this world. In fact, there are as many reasons to kill as there are people on Earth.
Are there really?
They compel humans to kill each other, bringing despair to the world. This is what we refer to as the seed of despair.
That sounds like something straight out of a fantasy story or something. Well, something like an actual object from a fantasy story. An actual seed of despair. A literal seed of despair. That when planted will spread destruction and chaos and despair across the world or something. I'm pretty sure she's being metaphorical, but I don't know. My first thought was something out of a fantasy story that had a literal seed of despair.
Seed of despair?
Just as water, air, and food promote growth in living things, the seed of despair also needs nourishment. And that nourishment is hope. Despair can grow only in the presence of hope. Two sides of the same coin, divided by a razor-thin line. Such is hope and despair.
How much longer is this stupid speech of yours? Weren't we discussing our missing memories? Why are you trying to change the subject?
Yeah, let's get back on track, shall we?
If you would listen, you would see I'm not changing the subject. We are discussing your memories. What I'm trying to say is, the seed of despair is closely tied to your own memories.
How so?
You see, by taking away your memories, I gave you hope.
Oh.
Of course, that hope merely existed to be consumed by despair.
How could taking away someone's memories give them hope?
And plus, you haven't given us any hope anyway!
Is that so? All you've been able to think about during your time here is how to escape, right? The mere fact that that's what you want proves I gave you hope.
What are you talking about?
If none of you wanted to escape this school, the killings never would have taken place. That is why we took your memories, so that you would have the desire to leave.
The only reason we want to leave is because you took our memories. Is that what you're saying?
Seems that way.
Correctamundo!
Pretty insidious of you, I must say.
Which means if we did have our memories, then we wouldn't want to leave. Do I understand that right?
What? Why the hell would having our memories make us not want to leave?
A most troubling thought, isn't it? But it's not enough. I want more distress, more despair. I put so much effort into creating hope in order to feed your despair and make it grow.
Alright, you despair glutton, let's see what I can do. Maybe I can make you explode from so much despair.
So, just like Crazy Yeti slashing his prices and passing the savings on to you, let me give you a hint. Huh? Really?
Then hurry up and tell us.
Okie dokie. Like they say, seeing is believing. I'd like for you to see the outside world.
The outside world?
You mean the world beyond the school walls?
So something really did happen out there.
Now are you interested in what I have to say? You wanna see what's out there? Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I wanna see too. See your faces sink into despair. Now then, open sesame! Behold, the world beyond the school walls! This is the outside world you've all been so anxious to claw your way back into.
Alright, let's see it. Oh. They ruined these monuments by slamming Monokuma faces on them. Oh. Uh-huh.
What the?
Oh, shit.
Dangerous. The world has grown so very dangerous. That's what this means.
I saw a glimpse of Makoto's face as I clicked away. I'm like, oh, I didn't notice the blue lines before.
What are you talking about? None of this makes any sense.
What am I looking at?
This is a scene from a movie or something, right? What you just saw, all of you should recognize it.
We should recognize it? What about it should be recognized? This whole thing is insane.
That world is locked away within the memories that were taken from you. If you can't remember, please just try. Do your best to try and recall. Better kick your brain in the ass, because it's up to that gray lump whether you live or die. I don't remember ain't a fucking excuse no more, because now it's time for the final class trial.
I've been doing this for almost 2 hours. We've been in this class trial for a while now. Oh, and by the way, you mentioned memories? I know someone who might remember that. Just gonna take a bit of coaxing to get them to show up is all.
Come on, bitches! Remember or die! What the fuck happened outside?
You want us to remember or whatever, but when it comes to that crazy confusing video you showed us, I don't understand a damn thing.
What's the meaning of the footage we saw? Is this another one of your practical jokes?
I mean, you're telling us to remember, but what am I supposed to be remembering?
If nobody can
Wait,
remember-
Tucko! Someone does remember. And it's all up to you. It's all up to you to get them to come out.
Actually, she might remember.
Who might remember?
You know who.
The other Toko. Genocide Jack.
What?
The two of them share certain kinds of knowledge, but their memories aren't linked, right?
I see. If their memories are separate, then even if one personality's forgotten, there's a chance the other may still have those memories.
What do you say, Toko?
Are you telling me to swap places with her?
Yes.
No! Absolutely not! That'd be like forfeiting my entire identity!
Well, if she doesn't come out, then we're all gonna die.
Toko, you're the only one we can rely on now.
Oh. You actually sounded sincere that time, Byakuya. Well, Toko, Byakuya asked you, are you gonna do it? Yep.
Da-da-da-da! It's me, your friendly neighborhood serial killer! Boy, she just gave in like it was nothing.
That's what love did to her. Since Byakuya asked her to, well, she did it.
I'm going to ask you a question, and I want to have it answered immediately.
For once, I'm glad you're crushing on me, Jack. Otherwise, this wouldn't work out.
Do you know anything about this video?
Huh? What video?
The video that's playing right now.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, I'm the mastermind.
Oh, nice to meet you.
You sound rather cordial.
Nice to meet you too.
That was kind of funny.
That's enough! Just look at the stupid screen.
Aye, aye, Roger, you got it, Captain.
Is that 70% off sale?
Well, does it look familiar?
I don't have all the details, but of course it does!
Then you remember all the stuff it's showing?
Of course I do!
Then what is it?
So you didn't lose your memory after all.
Then why didn't you say something earlier? I only answer questions when someone bothers to ask me. I'm the quiet type, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense for someone like you.
Oh my god, she's the worst liar in the world.
More importantly, if you really do remember, what is it?
Huh? What's the matter, Master? Do you really not remember the tragedy?
The tragedy?
Oh no! You seriously forgot? Maybe I can help you remember with a kiss.
I don't think you should kiss something like that, Byakuya, with the overly long tongue and all that. How would that work?
Just answer the question. What happened out there?
Well, I can't really say if it happened or if it's still happening. But it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
You got that? What?
Why is that phrase coming up now?
Oh, you don't look too happy, Byakuya.
Because it's all because of that event. What is? Are you serious? I'm talking about the way the world is now.
Is now?
The world's been destroyed, get it?
Destroyed?
Explain yourself. Tell us everything you know.
Copy that, darling. Okay, so this big, awful, tragic event, they started just calling it the tragedy, happened about a year ago. It was so big and so bad that even this murderous fiend went pale at the sight of it.
Hear that, Junko? Genocide Jill, the quote-unquote ultimate serial killer, has more frickin' standards than you do.
I guess you could say what happened was man-made. But it was more on the level of a worldwide natural disaster. Either way, there's no doubt that it was the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. And as a result, in basically no time flat, the world turned out the way it did, and that's that.
That's all there is to it? Come on! There wasn't a single concrete description in there!
Well, it just so happens I don't know any of the specifics. Miss Moreau saw it all play out in real time, so why don't you ask her?
Because she doesn't remember?
We already did, and she didn't know anything. That's why we're asking you.
I couldn't live up to Master's expectations! To die! To die! This is the true tragedy!
Okay, stay with us for a bit, Jill, please.
Okay, that's enough of your little lover's quarrel. Whatever happened, it doesn't matter at this exact point in time, right? The end justifies the means. Everything serves the outcome. In other words, the world has ended. That's the important thing.
How can the world just end? It's the world!
Calm down. It's okay. There's no need to panic. Every living person will be dead in 100 years anyway. So the world ending isn't that big a deal.
Well, those people will likely have children, so there's gonna be another generation, and, never mind.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being ridiculous.
Well, as long as we're being ridiculous, I have another ridiculous story to tell you. It's the story of the Tagami Corporation, which has given Byakuya's life all its meaning.
What? What did you say?
I'm glad to see you took the bait. You bit into it like a middle-aged secretary at an all-you-can-eat cake buffet.
Hey! So, what do you think happened to the Togami family?
Did the Togami family fall? Or maybe they fell? Or maybe they fell off a cliff? Well, what happened to them? This is silly, but, why not? We'll go for the middle ground here.
Correct. Well done, peasant.
Thank you.
But I didn't say anything yet.
I just got so fucking bored waiting, I couldn't help it. Even if you're wrong, eventually you'll figure it out, right? Till then, you're just going in circles.
So, no matter what you pick, you get the right answer. Pretty innovative, don't you think?
But do you think it might be a disease? Getting bored so easy, I mean. Do you think I might be sick?
In a way, yes, you're sick.
Anyway, like I was saying, Byakuya's entire lineage has been totally annihilated.
What? What the hell are you talking about?
I can confirm that his entire family has died. Even the distant relatives. The Tagami name has perished.
Stop with these idiotic jokes!
Yeah, as much as I hate Byakuya, not even he deserves something like this.
Stop! And said with such authority. A peasant would dare challenge us? The avatar of divine punishment?
Well, in fairness, if you're trying to emulate an English king from way back when, yeah, back then it was believed that the king was, at the very least, an ally of God, or assisted by God, or had God's favor. I don't remember the specifics. It's been a while since I took a course in Shakespeare or whatever, because that's where I got all this information from. We read Shakespeare a lot, and we often discussed stuff about what the king meant, what it meant to be king. Like how the king was being assisted by God, and by hurting the king, you're defying God, or something along those lines. I need to read up on that stuff. There's so much I gotta read up on that I learned from college.
You must learn your place, peasant. You are no longer the ultimate affluent progeny.
In fact, you're hardly anything at all. Nothing but a mere commoner.
They couldn't possibly be gone. The Togami family is destined to guide the world.
Hell, there is no world anymore, remember? It got fucked a full year ago.
Hold on. That doesn't make any sense.
Huh? I don't make sense.
No, you don't make sense. Please switch back to anything else besides that and your, Venice-fueled form. The one with the shrooms.
There's no way that happened a year ago. I mean, we only came to this school a few weeks ago. If some kind of world-ending event happened a year ago, then how do you explain the totally normal world we were living in up till then?
Have you considered the possibility that you're mistaken about that?
Mistaken?
Well, if I'm understanding you right, it sounds like you think the tragedy happened a year before you arrived here.
Well, yeah. I mean, like he said, we just got here a few weeks ago.
Well, there's still that whole amnesia thing, remember?
A few weeks ago? Ooh, I get it. You're saying that what happened 2 years ago actually happened more recently, right?
Huh? 2 years ago?
Well, I mean, you guys all started attending Hope's Peak Academy 2 years ago.
Wait, what? 2 years ago? What does that...
What the hell is this chick trying to say?
I understand why you'd have trouble accepting it, but in the end, you can't deny the truth. And the truth is, everything is cause and effect. Deny that, and you may as well give yourself up to God. So, you must surely understand all the hints I've given you so far, right? What are the memories I took from you?
And now, answer us. Answer with all your heart and soul.
How are we supposed to answer?
I just don't know what's going on anymore.
Still, we have to answer somehow. If we don't, everything ends right here. The memories that were stolen from us. If what Junko says is true, if we first came here 2 years ago, but the rest of us only remember getting here within the last few weeks or so, so the memories she took from us would be your life at Hope's Peak.
I got it! If we accept that what you say is true, then we've all lost our memories of the last 2 years after coming to this school.
Nope. No. I mean, no matter what anyone says,
You can deny it all you want, Yasuhiro, but, it's kinda true.
Another correct answer. Well done, peasant.
Is that the damage noise that plays whenever I get something wrong normally?
Seriously? This routine again?
We've lost 2 years worth of memories?
That's right. You've already spent 2 full years here at Hope's Peak Academy. And that entire period of time is precisely what you've forgotten.
I don't remember the last 2 years of my life? That's not possible!
I want to think that too. I don't want to believe it. But that's nothing but our desire. I don't want to believe. I want it to be impossible. But if it's the truth, then we have to accept it. Oh, what do we gotta refute this time? Oh wait, I think I know this one. And to get this right, I need to switch over to
2 years worth of
the
memories.
notebook.
I could never lose something like that.
We've been living here for 2 years? Hell no! That's impossible! I mean, I haven't gone to any awesome school events or anything! Heck, I've never even gone to a single class.
Yeah, I got something that'll maybe jog your memory, Yasuhiro.
Hiro, there's something I'd like you to take a look at. This notebook right here.
Huh? Hey, why's my name written on it?
I found it in the locker room on the 2nd floor. If you don't mind, could you take a look inside?
Sure, whatever you want. But I've never seen this notebook before in my life.
Wuzza, is something wrong?
It's kinda similar. No, even more than that.
Oh dear, you're about to have a freak out, aren't you?
This is absolutely my handwriting, without a doubt! But how is this? I don't remember ever writing in this thing! No! No way!
It looks like you actually did attend class here at Hope's Peak, but somehow, you forgot all about it.
Lies! It's all one big lie!
I don't want to believe it either. But there's also no explanation for this pocketbook.
And whose pocketbook is that?
It's mine. And the handwriting inside is also mine. There's no doubt about it. But just like Hiro, I have no memory of ever writing in it.
And the reason for that is the 2 years of missing memories?
Yeah, it kind of makes everything that's happened up till now kind of bittersweet, huh?
After seeing all the evidence, do you have any choice but to acknowledge the truth?
Isn't it just so desperately dark? The mystery's solved, but it's like a goddamn funeral in here! Shit, man! I've never been to a funeral! Hell yes!
I've been to a funeral and I can tell you it is not fun in the slightest.
2 years of school life. How many moments of blossoming youth have you missed out on? How many fun classes? How many school events? This was your chance to build lasting friendships, right? And on top of that, something tragically sad happened 1 year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Right before everyone's eyes, the world came crashing down. You absorbed all that despair, but then you forgot it all. And once you'd forgotten, you made the choice to subject yourselves to this killing game. Oh, and there's one other thing. To be even more precise, the memories you all lost were...
Actually, never mind. I'm bored. Explaining stuff is boring.
What?
We are bored of this world. Everyone always talks big, declaring all the great things they'll do. But then they always fizzle out.
Hopefully that happens to you in a bit.
This world is just so desperately fucking boring!
What are you talking about?
In a way, I'm jealous of all of you. To give yourself over so completely to such stimulating despair.
Yeah, so figure out the rest for yourselves! I'm sick of expositioning all this shit!
Figure out what?
Figure out where your memories come apart. That's at the heart of all of this.
Where our memories come apart. Is she talking about the moment where we must have lost our memories? I can only think of one time. Just after I set foot in the main hall for the first time. And that was when you fainted.
I got it! The moment I lost my memories. I can't think of any time other than that day. When I first came to the gates of this school and stepped foot in the main hall. When I passed out, I was overcome with a strange sensation.
Wow, you still have enough spirit to keep on talking, huh? So I don't know much about the details, but it seems like everyone remembers passing out, right? And your sense of time got all messed up because of the memory loss after that?
Seems that way.
I guess it must have been something like that.
After I passed out, I woke up in a classroom with my head on a desk. I assumed not much time had passed since I'd collapsed in the main hall.
But instead, 2 whole years had gone by.
The reason it felt so short was because our memories of the time in between had been completely removed.
You got it, honey. 2 years of memories? Poof! Gone! Which means, of course...
When everyone met for the first time, it wasn't actually for the first time. Unaware of this fact, you took the time to introduce yourselves to each other, but
by that point, we'd already spent 2 years together at the school.
Yeah.
That's what those photos reveal, isn't it?
Kyoko's not looking too good. Nobody's looking too good. Seems like Junko's getting to them pretty good.
Yep, that's what they reveal. You were all such close friends. You spent 2 years together, and then you started killing each other.
I wonder, how does that that make you feel, now that you know that you killed so many of your close friends?
And it was all so you could escape into a world that's already been annihilated! What a terribly tragic tale! Even if you left now, there's nothing you could do to fix it.
You're the one who set things up to be like this!
Yeah, everything that's happened is your fault, Junko.
I love you all so much.
I'm sure you do.
What?
Once your school life here began, I thought about you constantly. It's only natural that I would fall in love.
So, since I love you guys so much, I'll tell you all about it.
I don't like that you're saying this with that cutesy-wootsy voice and appearance. It's kind of creepy.
All about the idea we came up with as the ultimate despair. Our plan to bring despair to all mankind.
The ultimate despair? All mankind?
Let's go back in time 2 years, okay? Back to when everyone first came to this school. School life during that first year overflowed with hope and happiness.
It made you sick to your stomach, didn't it?
Oh boy, it was just the worst. Everyone was enjoying themselves so much. You were all having the time of your lives.
But that couldn't last forever, of course. The peacefulness only made it through that first year. Because after that, an event unfolded that hammered a soul-crushing despair into all of humanity. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. All too soon, the world's days of peace came to a bloody end. And as you can imagine, the school was no exception. The tragedy even made its way here, leading to the extermination of most of the students.
Is that why the second floor dorms are the way they are?
What are you?
Well, they're the closest things to monsters, I'll say that much. See, a monster doesn't have to look like a monster. A monster can be perfectly human.
What do you mean?
The most tragic event in human history. And the ultimate despair that caused it. I can't believe it's all because of just you and Mukuro. Was it some kind of organization? An angry mob? An incredibly motivated family?
You have a point. If I had to describe it, I'd say it was none of those. How can I put it? It was more of an ideological thing. Despair is contagious, you know. It's almost like a natural phenomenon. Everyone is capable of it, and now the entire world has fallen into despair.
In other words, if you see despair as the enemy, then your enemy is the world itself.
Well, that's a pretty big enemy to take care of, I guess.
I just don't understand why.
We didn't ask you to try to understand. This was a tangent anyway, unrelated to the matter at hand.
Okay, so let's get back to the story. Hope's Peak had taken so much damage. You guys were the only survivors. The members of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy were the only ones left.
And then, something super neat happened. Now pay attention, because this is important, and I'm only gonna say it once.
Alright. Guess. Okay, gotta get myself, focused and stuff.
So guess what? To protect everyone who had survived, Hope's Peak was transformed into a shelter. That's right. It was transformed into a shelter.
You said that twice.
I said it twice.
Eh.
Now, someone was responsible for that transformation, for creating what would eventually become your prison. Do any of you know who that might have been?
The one who turned Hope's Peak into a shelter and isolated us here. Who else could it be but the headmaster?
I got it! Could only have been the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. He wanted to turn the school into a shelter to try and protect us.
Yeah, how's that make you feel, Kyoko, considering how much you hate your father?
To protect us from the despair and tragedy taking place outside. That's why he asked us to make that promise. To say that we were willing to live in this school forever.
We believe he had something like that in mind, yes. If you, the collective hope of a new generation, could survive, maybe the world could have a fresh start.
Yeah, the headmaster put that much faith in you.
And because we had that same hope, that's why we all agreed to live here forever.
But creating the shelter was also his single biggest mistake. It's laughable, really. He was the headmaster, but he had no idea.
I kind of like the black and white motif going on here. Well, it certainly makes sense considering what Monokuma looks like.
He had no idea that we, the ultimate despair, had already made our way into the school. So what was supposed to be a shelter to keep you safe
wound up being more like one of those I'm not trapped here with you, you're trapped in here with me situations.
became a cage that made it impossible for you to escape despair. I have to say, it really helped me out a lot. It saved me a ton of time.
By the way, it was you yourselves who blocked off the windows, the doors, all the exits.
Yeah, it's funny how much time was spent trying to get those down.
Under the headmaster's direction, you all went about your work like obedient little sheep.
You mean we trapped ourselves in here?
And then you forgot all about it and started bitching about how you were trapped in here.
Once you'd finished building your little shelter, it was time for me and Mukuro to get to work. And thus began the killing game.
Me and Mukuro had come here, spending the last 2 years waiting for that moment.
That moment where you all began killing each other served as the climax of our global despair plan.
And the only reason you survived the tragedy was so that you could be a part of it.
Only let us live? So we could go around killing each other? Is that what you're saying?
Why? Why would you do that?
Well, she probably doesn't have a reason, just like she had said she had no reason for doing everything else.
Because this was so much more than a simple high school deathmatch. Rather, it was a method to hunt down and destroy every last remaining speck of hope in the world.
What are you saying?
Well, it would seem that there's a little bit left out there. A few souls unwilling to give up hope. So I thought I should show them, which is why
Well, why don't you tell me?
What the mastermind did to show everyone in the outside world. That was... Oh, here we go. One more Highwayman's Gambit. I almost said Highwayman's Gambit. Hijack? Right. Where's an I? Yoo-hoo. J.
Now I understand. You're talking about you hijacking the airwaves, aren't you?
Uh-huh. That's exactly what I'm talking about. To show the world the murders taking place at this school, which was meant to be a symbol of hope.
That was the whole point of the ultimate despair. When I said climax, that was what I was talking about. The world watched as you fell into despair and began to kill each other one after another. Despair is as contagious as any disease. Any hope left turns to despair.
Isn't the power of television just amazing? By the way, since we started broadcasting, a whole bunch of people have tried to come and rescue you.
Are you serious?
But utilizing the heavy weaponry I installed around the school grounds, I had no problem expelling them.
You really don't give a shit about other people, do you?
Expelled them?
Well, that's a funny way of putting it, but sure. In a way, yes, she did expel them.
I have to thank you all. They were a relentless bunch, refusing to give up on hope and trying to force their beliefs on the world. But in the end, I was able to give them the final despair. Death.
So you just used us? To bring despair to everyone in the outside world?
Well, sure, but I also gave you a second chance at life, right? So it's like, give and take.
I don't see any giving or taking here. Okay, I don't see any giving. It's more like take, 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 take.
Give and take? You're so full of shit!
Damn! You must have you really pissed off Makoto for him to say that. I don't think he said a heavier swear than damn or ass up until now.
And there's a reason I chose you guys to survive when all the other students were dropping like flies. I mean, we built up 2 years of memories together. You were all my treasured classmates.
Calling bullshit on that.
Sorry, that's a lie. I just figured you'd despair even more when you found out a friend had betrayed you.
Well, at least now you're being honest.
And that's the truth, which is what you wanted, right? So, does it make you feel utterly lost and hopeless? You solved the mystery, but despair at the truth, right?
Don't tell me. Did you seriously count on the possibility that we would solve your mystery?
And if we did, then what? Our final desire for creating this world of despair was so we could experience one last class trial. If you were bold enough to solve the mystery, only to discover that the truth was utterly hopeless, how would you react? What would you do?
See? Discovering the truth doesn't necessarily lead to a sense of hope.
Truth can be full of despair, too! Like right fucking now!
Truth. Full of despair. That's...
Not to mention, all those motives I talked about were totally meaningless.
I was about to say, let's not forget that what Kyoko said about absolute truths. They can be good or bad.
I mean, with the world having ended and all.
Meaningless? Then we've been murdering each other for nothing?
And think about it. You chose to lock yourselves up here, then started murdering each other to get out.
We weren't just random strangers either. We were classmates. We'd spent 2 years together.
No, even I can't laugh at that.
Once again, Jill's got more standards than you, Junko.
We get it. We get it, okay? You're totally awesome, right? We get it already. So help us. I'll do anything. Just help me.
A peasant begging for his life? Oh, how delightful! We've never witnessed such a travesty firsthand.
But I'm sorry to say, begging doesn't work on me.
Because I'm a bear. No, really, I'm a bear.
All I want is despair, and there's no reason for it. And since there's no reason, there's no argument against it. There's just no understanding it.
Well, you have a point there. I certainly don't understand why you're doing all this.
No argument, no understanding. What better definition of ultimate despair could there be?
Wait, hold on. You've just been going on about whatever you feel like, but there's no real reason for us to believe anything you have to say.
Oh, she dropped the act.
Huh?
You say the world's fallen apart, but I haven't seen it for myself, so I don't acknowledge it. I don't accept it as the truth.
Until you see it with your own eyes. Truth and falsehood overlap one another. In other words, you're not unlike Schrodinger's cat right now. Is that what you're saying? If so, what then?
Are you saying you won't accept the truth until you can go outside and see for yourself? Well, you better not. You go out into that world and you're all goners for sure. Trust me, I'm not lying about any of this.
Well, even if it's all true, I refuse to give in. I refuse to lose to you. For the sake of everyone you've killed.
Yeah, that's it. Let's rally everybody up for this.
Huh? Everyone I've killed?
Yeah, in the end, all of this is your fault.
What are you talking about? You're the ones who killed them.
I didn't kill anyone. I simply gave you a little nudge in the right direction.
And that's all it took for you to start killing each other. You're nothing but bloodthirsty animals.
That's why anyone was murdered here, peasant.
Say what you want about hope, but we're all creatures of instinct, right? Despair comes naturally.
Hell yes! That's funny as shit!
No, none of this is funny.
No! This isn't just some game to us. It's murder! Plain and simple. You stole our memories. Invented reasons for us to do it. You pushed us all into a corner. It's all your fault!
You certainly have a talent for passing the buck, don't you? That must be your hope, huh? But we don't have much time left to keep up this banter. We have to draw things to a close soon.
There's another time limit?
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the vote, of course. You didn't forget about that little rule, did ya? Oh, and also, since this will be the last vote, I decided to change the rules.
Of course you did.
What?
You guys so full of hope, and me so full of despair. I've decided to have you vote which one will be punished. If even one of you votes to punish Hope, well then, I'll consider that a win for me, and punish everyone on the side of Hope.
Even if it's just one person?
Oh, but don't worry, I won't be voting, of course.
Otherwise, you would never win! And that wouldn't be fair, would it?
Even if you don't, you've still got the upper hand in all this!
It's okay. Nobody would actually vote to kill themselves, right?
Oh, let me just mention one more thing. When I win, to punish you guys, you'll have to stay here till you grow old and die. No fighting, no killing. That's your punishment.
What?
You mean, we'd
have to just live here?
I smell shenanigans.
She's saying she'll let us live.
If you're not happy with that, then go ahead and punish me. And make your way to the outside world.
Enter a world fallen from grace, where only despair exists, where you'd likely be dead within a day.
What are you saying? So no matter what, we're doomed.
Wait a sec! I just got hit with an inspiration bomb! Dying of old age is boring as shit, right? The audience at home isn't gonna dig that at all! So, here's what'll happen. One of you will get to experience an instant, super impressive punishment!
What? You can't just...
Do you mean to say you'll execute one of us?
And I get to decide who's gonna have to suck it down!
Who?
Makoto, you're up!
Me?
Yeah, you've been acting up, causing all kinds of trouble. I hate you!
Okay.
So let me make this clear. Everyone has two choices in front of them. If a single person votes for Hope to be punished, then only Makoto will receive a harsh punishment, and the rest of you will live here in peace.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
What I'm saying is, if you sacrifice Makoto, the rest of you will get to live out your lives.
Sacrifice me? But that's...
What? Has your resolve softened? Have you lost confidence? Are you afraid of being punished? Don't you have faith in your friends?
No, that's not it.
It's okay. You're right to be afraid. It would seem all of those around you have realized the futility of going against me.
Oh, yeah.
Guys?
It's so beautiful. Your lovely faces, eroded by despair, have come together as one.
Oh, I'm gonna make sure everyone here snaps out of their senses just to spite you.
Besides, Kyoko, you could never betray your father, could you?
Kyoko, she's doing the same thing she pulled on me. Don't fall for it.
What?
I mean, the headmaster's only wish was that all of you would survive, right? That's why he tried to trap you all here after all. The least you can do is try to honor your dead father's wishes.
Oh god, even she has gotten hooked.
Kyoko!
One person's despair is enough to seal your fate. Isn't that just the most hopeless outcome ever?
So, who do you think's gonna give in? Whose despair is gonna sign your death warrant?
No one. Nobody's gonna give in to despair! We're not gonna lose to you!
Yeah! Up, she's dropped the act again.
So boring. Stubborn till the very end, huh? Well, that's fine. Then let's just hurry up and get it over with. It's time for the final vote. Everything will come to an end. Your stupid hope.
And your stupid life.
The final vote. This is it. The ultimate confrontation. I have to show everyone. I have to make them remember. I have to convince them not to give up, to live in despair. That's not really living at all! Ah, 5 bullets again.
We won't give up. As long as there's hope, we'll never give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
Okay.
By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know. The only reason we're okay in here is thanks to the air purifiers in the physics lab. If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt.
Really?
In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
How does that work? Okay, just go meh.
All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are waiting. So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you want?
Yeesh. There's no hope left in the world. When you sleep, it's on a bed of despair. The world is in despair. You are in despair. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna be consumed by despair. And as you may have noticed, you take damage if you don't do anything, I do believe. So it's kind of why I opted not to do anything, just to show you what happens if you don't do anything here. You take damage. You claim there's no hope left in the world. But if despair is as contagious like you say, then so is hope. I'll use my own hope to plant seeds of hope inside everyone else.
We won't give up.
So instead of those 5 bullets,
As long as there's hope,
you just
we'll
need
never
1.
give up.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
Time to start snapping everyone into their senses, and we'll start with you, Yasuhiro.
Don't lose hope now.
All my fortune-telling senses are telling me not to leave this place. But to live means moving forward, right?
Right.
So even if it's hard, even if we're scared, we don't have any choice, do we? I want to keep on living. I want to open the next door. There must be something new waiting for me. So that's why, no matter what, I need to get out of here. The whole fortune-telling thing doesn't matter anymore. What matters is my own gut feelings.
There you go, Yasuhiro. Now to work on everyone
We
else.
won't give up.
Alright, you're up now, Aoi.
Don't lose hope now.
Remember Sakura.
I've been thinking about all this, and I was thinking, at a time like this, what would Sakura do?
She sure as shit wouldn't give up.
You only get stronger by taking adversity by the horns. Confront that thorny path with enthusiasm. That sounds like something she'd say, right? No. I think that's definitely what she'd say.
That's it.
Which is why yeah! I've made up my mind!
There you go.
We won't
Alright, don't meh on me right now,
lose
Jill.
hope now.
I don't think she has any hope to lose.
I don't care either way. I'm fine with whichever one is more interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She hasn't so much lost hope as it is going with the flow at this point.
Actually, I may not look like it, but I always hated school. Hell, no matter how I look, still hate it. Oh, but no matter what, Master has to come along with us.
Don't worry, I'll work on him next. Togami, remember who you are.
Don't lose hope now.
What's the matter? You're not actually trying to encourage me, are you? Ridiculous. It never even crossed my mind that I might give in to despair.
You sure as hell looked like it.
But don't misunderstand me. I couldn't care in the slightest what happens to you. I just have to keep my word. I swore I would end the life of the Mastermind. Besides, the Togami family isn't dead, because I'm still alive. So until I can restore the Togami family and bring it greater glory than it's ever known...
There we go!
We won't give up!
Things are getting serious.
As long as there's hope, we'll never give
As
up!
the theme's playing.
If I were to die, that would be the end of Hope's Peak Academy.
Well, listen to what everyone's got to say.
I decided to have faith in myself.
By the way, the air outside is totally polluted, you know. The only reason we're okay in here is thanks to the air purifiers in the physics lab.
Say whatever you want. I've made my decision.
If I die, the purifiers will screech to a halt. In other words, as soon as I die, the communal life you've all been living will come to an end.
I can keep on living as long as I have my master's love!
Don't worry about that.
All of you will have to leave. You'll have to go into the world outside, where only death and despair are waiting.
I already said I would claim the Mastermind's life, by whatever means necessary.
So, what are you gonna do? Will you just die? Is that what you want?
Kyoko!
Don't lose hope now!
I didn't really know my father, so I can't pretend to know what he was thinking.
He wouldn't want this, though, would he?
But even if we're just connected by blood, there's one thing I am sure of. He would never want us to abandon Makoto and choose to stay here. I can't explain why exactly. But if I'm sure of anything, I'm sure of that. Just because we don't actually know anything. Does that mean we can't understand? Could it be that... No, never mind. So, Makoto, I don't think you wound up at this school because you had good luck or bad luck.
Though, to be fair, that is how he got in this school to begin with, because he got lucky.
I think you came here for a different reason entirely. You came here to bring down the ultimate despair. You came here to confront despair without ever giving up. And if that's true, I think we could call you the ultimate hope. What do you think?
Nice ring to it.
What the hell are you?
Didn't you just hear Kyoko? Apparently Makoto's the ultimate hope. Oh.
So uncool. Your stupid faces, the stupid things you've said, the stupid way you all treat each other.
What's so stupid about that?
It's all so uncool, so unhip.
Says you.
Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up!
No.
Lame, 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 lame!
Nuh-uh. I'm not any kind of elite anything. Hope isn't a talent you develop, but I still... Oh, here we go. One more bullet time battle. Everyone ready?
You suck! What do you want? So uncool! You dare to stand against us? Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Your idiocy ends here.
You're gross. Suffer from despair.
I just love despair!
You suck! What do you want? So uncool!
You're unbearable!
Hope is a joke. Who are you?
Would you like to die?
You're gross. Suffer from despair. Everything is pointless! Suffer from despair.
I just love despair!
Suffer from despair.
Is Ultimate Hope up? Oh, yep.
Hope keeps on going.
That was a bit iffy, but it'll do.
I refuse to give up. I refuse to get bored. I refuse to throw it all away. I refuse to despair.
Yeah, Makoto, you tell her.
Because all I have going for me is the desire to keep moving forward.
What's going on? What's happening?
Simple. You lost. And now for the final results. Oh, I got a P in one of them. I did worse than... but I'll get Monokuma tokens still, right? 123 medals. Was that the same amount I got in the other one? I don't remember.
It looks like we've reached the end. I think it may be time to vote.
Yeah.
We just gotta pull the lever, right?
Good. I'm ready to go.
Let's put an end to these trials. Put an end to the killing. With our own hands.
Let's put an end to the ultimate despair. Let's go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Junko. Nice knowing ya. Well, nice knowing the real you.
The hell?
Indeed.
You've lost, Junko.
I lost?
I lost? Me? No way!
That's just...
It can't be! You still don't accept it? Even the ultimate despair herself is vulnerable to the onslaught of despair, it would seem.
What the heck?
But there's no use trying to fight it now!
Well, that's just... totally the best!
Oh, Christ. Huh?
So this is despair.
We came to this school 2 years ago, created our incredibly detailed plan. I even killed my own sister for it.
And now I...
To come this far and fail at the very end.
True despair.
It's the most ultimate despair. What are you talking about?
And now I...
Don't you see? I was so hopelessly desperate. I was bored of the world the moment I was born. That's why I've been looking forward to this so desperately. This once-in-a-lifetime experience. It is my first and last colossal despair, here at the moment of death. To have the chance to taste the highest grade despair. The utter failure of my dreams.
True despair.
I am so hopelessly happy right now.
Huh?
Wait, is she enjoying this?
Anyway,
so are you prepared to admit defeat? You think I care whether I won or lost? Either way, it doesn't change a thing. Outside is only despair. Inside is only despair. No matter where you go, despair awaits you. That's not true.
Not possible.
You're wrong. Huh?
Don't make me repeat
Let me tell you
myself.
this right now. We no longer fear despair.
Okay.
Because we've decided to enter the outside world with hope. Yeah, Makoto totally seduced us over to his side. Everyone.
Hey.
You said that despair is as contagious as any disease, but the same is true of hope. All you have to do is look back at us to see how true that is. Kyoko.
No.
Stop it! Stop! I hate those faces you're making! To see those awful looks causes me nothing but pain!
There's one last
Fine,
thing.
let me just say one last thing. If you guys want to get all hung up on the word hope, that's no skin off my nose. But just be warned. From this point on, one despair after another will stand in your way. No matter where you run, no matter where you hide, maybe you'll find some hope, but there's a very fine line dividing that hope from bitter despair. Knowing that, you still plan to cling to your hope? Of course, because we... Shut up! That was a rhetorical question. You interrupted my monologue. I'm almost done, though. So whatever. Because it's almost punishment time, right?
It can't be.
Do you really intend to go through with this? That was the agreement, right? Hold on! It's not like I want you to die. You don't have to.
Stop it!
What?
How many times do I have to tell you?
The act of living brings me no hope at all! All I want now is to taste that despair of death that you only get once in life, so...
Don't get in my way!
Okay.
So this is how the despair of death feels. It's so wonderful!
You wanna get your eyes checked out?
Even a tenth of this despair, even 100th, I want every last soul on this planet to taste such despair. I want the entire world to die with that despair in its mouth. Okay, let's do this. I've reserved an extra special punishment for last. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Eesh. I'll leave you to it then. Congratulations! Junko has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh, she's not getting dragged away, just walking away. Oh, we're saying goodbye? Okay. Goodbye. I won't miss you. Not after everything you've done. But whatever, I'll go along with this. Bye. Oh, that thing. The ultimate punishment. The 1,000 blows. Ooh. The cage of death. The burning of the Versailles witch. Oh, she's met. Ooh. Excavator destroyer. How is she living through any of this? After school lesson. Even this sounds a bit monstrous. High pitched and low pitched noises and all that. Oh, what a way to go, huh? Emergency override. Okay, and that's how everything came to an end. The final class trial. Junko and Oshima, the ultimate despair. Life at Hope's Peak Academy. It was all over. Chapter 6, the ultimate pain, suffering, despair, execution, death. It's all over. You received the Monokuma hair tie present. But even after saying it was all over, it's not like the building exploded or collapsed in on itself or anything. That wasn't the kind of ending waiting for us. Nothing changed. Well, with one exception. The air purifiers turned off. Just like Junko said, so they were somehow connected to her life. How does that work? I'm curious. They shut off immediately. That was the only difference. Goodbye, Despair High School, the epilogue. That was creepy. Sounded like it was dying. We left the courtroom and made our way to the main hall. We stood in front of the door. Nobody made a sound. I felt almost absent-minded. This is our epilogue before the final ending. We were stuck there in limbo, unmoving, unsure. But, in the end... Guess we're talking to everybody one last time.
Hey.
We can't just stand around like this forever. At some point we need to leave. To nobody's surprise, it was Kyoko who broke the silence.
Makoto.
Makoto, would you do the honors? Okay. As if awakened by Kyoko's words, I took out the object we'd gotten. Up until the moment of her death, it had belonged to Junko. And in the end, she dropped it before us.
So,
But, is that really it? Is that really the key to this door?
Indeed.
You don't have to read into what she said too much to find the answer.
If, on the other hand, you desire to see us punished, then you must all leave this place.
I will force you out, ensuring you all die horrible deaths in the outside world.
In other words,
I will force you out. She said that just before dropping that. It makes sense that it would be our way out of here. But you never know. Maybe it's actually a switch that's gonna make the school self-destruct. I mean, Junko never said specifically that she'd let us leave here alive. He has a point. I can't really put it past Junko.
It's true.
You may be right about that. Maybe!
Yes.
But even so, it's impossible to think we wouldn't take our chances with it. Yeah, I guess that's true. There's nothing to worry about! If something ever happened to Master, I'd take my scissors and jam him so far up... Huh? Hey, where's the courtroom? Where's the mastermind? It's all over. We were just about to leave the school. What? Leave? We can go outside? Then... that means me and the master can get married? And then he'll give me a little jewel of a baby?
That's enough.
Please stop. That would be a greater horror than anything I've encountered so far. Anyway, don't worry. I have no doubt that we'll be able to leave here without a problem.
But...
It's what happens after we get out that I'm worried about. But you know, in the end, I think a part of me still thinks...
We're serious.
Maybe, when we get out of there, we'll see that everything she said about the world was a lie. That on the other side of this door is a world as peaceful as we remember. Well, one way to find out. A lie. Peaceful as we remember. Well, no matter what it looks like, it's still our world. It's where we're meant to live. Yeah, I guess so. And how do I put this? Unlike this school, the world is really big, right? Since it's so big, I'm sure there must be some despair no matter what. But there also has to be lots of hope, right?
In other words,
The act of searching for hope, to try and find it. That by itself is the true meaning of hope. As long as you have that hope, you can keep moving forward no matter what trouble you may fall into.
am I wrong?
Is that what you mean, Makoto? Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I don't need any of you to spell that out for me. You know, Junko mentioned that there were still others out there who hadn't cast away hope just yet. Maybe I should find them and make them work for me. To rebuild the world, we must first rebuild the Togami dynasty. I'll go with you! I'll follow you anywhere you want to go!
You got it!
Well, my first stop is gonna be the closest donut shop. I can figure out the rest from there.
Hey.
And what are you gonna do if there are no more donut shops? Or donuts?
Okay.
I'll just get some flour and make some myself. And if there's no flour, I'll just grow some wheat. Ah, I get it now. If there's no road, you just gotta build one. Creation. Fate is telling me to remake the world.
Could it be?
That's my hope.
How about that?
I've reached the next stage! The next chapter of Yasuhiro Hagakure's life story is about to begin!
Whoa!
Thanks, Hina! You've totally opened my eyes! Hey! Personal space, buddy! You're seriously creeping me out!
Makoto.
Come on, Makoto. Even if everyone in the outside world is gone, even if the world is steeped in despair, as long as I have people like you around, I can face forward and keep moving. Aww. Is this the beginning of a Kyoko Makoto ship? If we can get out there and do something, have some sort of impact. But what can we do? There's so few of us and we're so small. So what can we do? No, we can probably do anything. Yeah, we can do anything!
Well, I guess this is goodbye. And goodbye to Sakura.
And to everyone that's died so far.
But hey, if we gotta say goodbye, we may as well do it with a smile on our face.
Sure.
Hey guys! You guys want your fortunes told anywhere, anytime. You just let me know. I'll be there.
Just, please pay me when this is all over, okay? I won't chase after you until everything's back to normal.
You know how much I hate being annoyed, but if something does come up, you may as well let me know.
Yes, I may as well be a shoulder to cry on if it comes to that.
I can't guarantee I'll actually bother listening, but, you know.
I'll try, at least.
I don't know why, but I have a burning desire to start writing. I might be able to pull it off. A story about Master and me, and the others, I guess.
But I'm gonna make sure Jack doesn't get even a cameo in that story. She doesn't deserve that!
I can't say I'm sorry about what happened, but still, it does feel kind of strange.
I really don't know what to say. I guess we graduated?
Yeah, in a sense you did. It looks like hope really is spreading. As long as I never give up, I have to push even harder. I'm going to keep moving forward with hope in my heart. Since I have hope, I can show courage. Since I have hope, I can move ahead. The world can move ahead. The door began to open. With my hands, with our hands, hope and despair mingled together, opening the door to the future. And then and then the turret shot them all. But with how long that took, that sounded like a flat line. Oh, well, that looks ominous. And with that, I do believe Danganronpa's over. And here's some copyrighted music that's gonna get cut out because I am already dealing with content ID strikes. I got another one on the 5th trial episode, but yeah, not taking any more chances with this music. So that's it, everyone. That's Danganronpa. And oh dear God, I'm sorry that I couldn't show you guys the original recording, but That would require recording 3 straight hours of post-commentary. Yeah, the original file was about 3 hours long, and this will probably also be 3 hours long. Right, so I'm not too good at coming up with reviews on the fly, so if I sound a bit repetitive or whatever, I apologize, but overall, I would say Danganronpa is a good game. Interesting characters, an interesting premise. Admittedly, I wish Sakura survived instead of, I'll say Yasuhiro, because at the very end, Byakuya got some character development, I would say. And it made me hate Byakuya a bit less. He's a saint compared to Junko and Ashima, that's for sure. That being said, I wish Toko got more development, because she's, insufferable. It's saying something when I prefer the serial killer half of her personality over her original personality. The art style was interesting, like, there were a couple of different art styles I noticed. First was the more painted looking stuff, and there's just the default character portraits, and then there's the stuff in the comic book where everything looks a bit more deranged, which I thought was neat. I don't know, nobody had an awful character design or anything like that. They all popped out. You could tell who they were based on their appearance. The story was interesting, a lot of twists and turns there. Nothing horrible, I'd say. It's decent, basically. Not the best story I've ever heard, but again, it's decent. The music is pretty good too. Soundtrack is top-notch. This song that's playing right now is quite catchy. Wish you guys could hear it right now, but again, copyright. Want to avoid that. Difficulty progression was also pretty good. Like, unkind difficulty at least. Start off relatively easy, and then it crawled up to a bit more difficult. I wish I noticed that during the 5th trial, that way I wouldn't have been all, why is that 3 bullets and all that. As for whether or not I'll do the other games in this series, doing this series has made me realize that I do not like editing long stretches of video. Like, I get the old 20 to 30 minutes. It's when I get to 50 minutes or an hour or, oh god, this thing's gonna be like 3 hours. That's gonna be a pain to fix up. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to cover the other games in the series, at least as Let's Plays. Let's just say I might have an idea of what I want to do for the other games. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I realize it's probably a pet idea for me to do visual novels, period. Not saying I'll avoid visual novels, I'll probably play them on my own. But as for Let's Plays of visual novels, don't expect to see another one. And thank you, Spike Chunsot, for helping me out with the Content ID stuff. Really, if you're doing a Let's Play of Danganronpa and you get hit with a Content ID, let them know. They'll help you. Oh, hi, Monokuma. Oh, dear.
Interesting. Things are getting very interesting indeed. Like I said at the beginning, I'm not a teddy bear.
I thought you were a robotic bear, but somehow you're still alive.
I am Monokuma, and I am this school's headmaster.
Welp, somehow Monokuma's still alive. That's one heck of a sequel hook. You received the Easter egg present. Alright, and for beating the game, you unlock school mode, which, like I said, I got far into that before I even found out the file's audio got corrupted, so that's why I got some skills like delusion, tranquility, algorithm. I got them all doing the school mode thing because you have time to do free time events and stuff. There's a lot of other things you can do in school mode, but I am not going to cover that. Like, I feel like I'm done with Danganronpa, so overall, I would give this game a recommendation if you're intrigued in the art style, for one thing. If you're into mysteries and whatnot. If you like visual novels, definitely give this a shot. There's a lot of content on here that I would say is arguably worth the about $30 price tag it's got on Steam. At least I think it's $30. It might have dropped in price. I haven't checked, but for example, you can get artwork, events, so on and so forth. Oh! One last thing. Do you remember back in the 5th trial, there was a choice? You could either pursue Kyoko's lie or let it go? I won't say anything because I didn't show it here, but whenever you get the time, pursue or lie. You'll see. Alright, that's all the time I've got for Danganronpa. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me on this despair-inducing adventure. What's next? Well, I'm going to go to a franchise that's near and dear to my heart. Something that's been with me ever since I was a child. So until next time, I hope you have a good morning, day, or night wherever you are, and I'll see you later. Bye!